Great. It did that to me earlier when I was testing, and it was very scary. Recording in progress. Okay, sweet. Are we ready to get started, team?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Okay. We've already done our introduction, but everybody, welcome back to the pyramid. Bestie JB. Woo!
Hi. Hello. Oh my gosh. Very excited to be here.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the shit show. The last time you were here, it was just you and me. We were flying just the two of us, and now we have this one over here joining the squad.
Yes. Our first time meeting. Very nice to meet you.
You as well.
Giving our unfettered opinions. Is the first time you're meeting, which is great. That's always the best intro into Eli. Is like
yes, but I've heard him on the pod, so you know I'm not too unfamiliar. I know you send people to bully him on Instagram. Yes.
Frequently.
He has a bullyable face. Bullyable and punchable face. So
well, hold on.
Everyone's gonna go and bully Eli after this. Hopefully, that's the goal. Okay, before we talk about the content of this episode, we're gonna do the pyramid of life. Oh my gosh, I keep doing it. It just took my hand thing off. Look at that. That's so weird. I'm gonna sit on my hands this episode. Probably we're doing this over Zoom, and it keeps recognizing my hands. So I'm just gonna sit on my hands probably. Y'all want to talk about the pyramid of life?
Indeed.
Who wants to go first?
I will defer to our guest.
JB, what you got on the bottom of your pyramid?
All right. The bottom of my pyramid of life this week is iMovie. Like the movie editing software that comes pre-installed on Apple devices.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've sworn by it my whole life. I've done many a school project, all of my YouTube videos, but I'm up to here. It can't handle what I need to do anymore. And I don't want to pay for Adobe. And that's so fair. I'm fed up and I'm upset.
Period. Honestly, fair. Honestly, very, very fair. The paywall also into Adobe is like, it's like either the free version that you use for like a week or whatever, does like 2 things, and then it's like pay us $70. It's like, is there not like a diet version of Premiere that I know I'm doing Premiere Pro. What about just Premiere? Can I just get like the regular version? Like this is a little much.
I'm like, I don't do anything too crazy in my videos because I just sit there and I talk, but it won't let me like put 2 pictures on the screen at once, and I can't put text exactly where I want to.
That's annoying.
That's so annoying. The iMovie I also have personal beef with iMovie because that's the reason why I can't upload like footage of our episodes, was because of the settings in iMovie and also my phone refusing to sync. And it was very, very annoying. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to have to get an external camera and just do this something else, because I was just using my phone, and in iMovie, it wouldn't let me sync everything up. And so I will join you in iMovie sucking ass.
I also will join you in iMovie sucking ass. So, but for the dumbest reason, not actual like ventures like you guys are. Yeah. But in my
sorry, my bad.
In my,
oh my god, just knocking my Stanley into the microphone. Don't mind me.
This one's off brand. This is Simple Modern. It was $20 off of Amazon. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, you're good. Anyway, I do like a weekly like video for my fantasy football league where I just kind of talk shit and do whatever. And I have to I do some very, very like elementary level editing. And iMovie just doesn't cooperate how I want it to. And sometimes like the clip, like it'll randomly mute a clip when I upload it. And it won't like tell me that it's doing that until after I've like exported the video and it's just like annoying. And like you said, Adobe, every other video editing software just costs like too much. Like I'm not going to buy video editing software for like me talking shit for 5 minutes about fantasy football to 9 of my friends. Right.
Yeah, and it's even worse like on the phone and the iPad, the editing stuff, like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's what I use with my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Dumb.
Yeah, can't be bothered. What's the bottom of your pyramid?
But you're just gonna hit me every time it's my turn to talk.
You're close. Now, normally when we film, we're on that couch and we're all the way apart, so I can't reach over and smack you. But I can now. Also, Liza's here.
Hello, Liza. She is on the nip.
She's tweaking off a catnip, right?
And she's gonna attack me as well. She's taking your example You're teaching your child violence.
Yes, that's the goal.
And now I'm nervous. The bottom of my pyramid are the cracked out teenage powerlifters at my gym.
Oh my God.
These, like,
I'm exhausted by that
These
sentence.
like 16 and 17-year-olds come in wearing baggy hoodies and pajama pants and slam weights around and take up way too much room. And today, my personal beef with them, right before I came over, I sound like such a boomer right now, but I don't care. Before I came here, I was at the gym and I'm just like trying to do my squats. I'm on one of the racks and they spread themselves out. They have the rack next to me and spread themselves out. They have bags everywhere. They're like pushing and shoving each other around. And I've got like a significant amount of weight.
I knew you were gonna.
I'm not gonna flex, pun slightly intended, but I had a lot of weight on my shoulders, and I could see them in the mirror. They're like kind of tripping and pushing themselves towards me, and there's
Oh
like
my
a serious
God.
injury that could happen.
Yikes!
And I'm just like, no, you crazy kids.
Get off my lawn.
No,
my
it's a
fist or
safety
something.
issue. Oh,
Yeah, it is a safety issue.
Yeah, and also they're just like
absolutely.
loud and go away. Just
yeah,
go away.
so true.
So true,
So true.
Bestie. They're loud and go away.
I feel very curmudgeonly, but I stand by that.
by that
Stand
opinion
by
of
it, yes.
go away.
Yes.
That's fair. Oh, the bottom of my pyramid. This has been the bottom of my pyramid before, and I'm going to say it again. I have to go to my doctor this week, who I hate. Longtime listeners of the pyramid will know that I fucking hate my doctor.
Yeah.
And I know I need to get a new one. I am aware. I know, but that is such a long process and I don't feel like it. And so then I have to go see her and then I'm like, fuck, I hate my doctor. And it's a whole thing. And I have to see her twice this week. And so I'm not super stoked about it. Everything's fine, but I just don't like speaking to this woman in general. And now I have to speak to this woman twice this week, and she wouldn't see me via telehealth. No. I must go to the office, which is like 45 minutes away from where I work. So I have to take a half day. Anyway.
It all adds up. I get
It's
it.
stupid. It's stupid, and I hate all of it. Also, sorry, I'm gonna try not to be distracted by her, but
She's
this
so
is
cute.
insane.
This is basically always going on as we're recording, and now there's video evidence of her going goblin mode.
Yeah, that's going goblin mode is the only way to describe it, very truly.
Yep.
JB, what is the middle of your pyramid, girl boss?
All right, the middle of my pyramid, and this might be controversial, but it's cosmic brownies. You know, the little Debbie snacks.
I know them well.
Talk your shit.
I love them. I love them. I've eaten them forever. I'm pretty sure they're the reason I gained 15 pounds last year because I just could not stop housing them. However, I took a break. I took a break because I was like, this is too much cosmic brownies. And I bought them again like 2 weeks ago. They aren't as good. And I don't think it's because I just like went crazy and ate them for a few months. I think they changed the recipe and they don't have enough. They don't have enough of the little chocolate chip sprinkles in them, you know?
So when I was a kid, we had a lot of cosmic brownies in the house as well. That was like a
sleepover snack.
Baked good favorite around like our circle of friends and whatnot. And I seem to recall, I mean, this was obviously 40, 50 years ago when I was younger. But when we ate them back in the day, I recall there being more of the sprinkles on there too. It might be the Mandela effect.
Talk your shit.
But like, I genuinely feel like there's like half as many nowadays.
It's shrinkflation. It literally is.
It literally is. It literally.
Call it like I see it. Little Debbie, get it together.
Literally. She used to be a girl boss, and for what? And now she's not anymore.
Yeah,
the original girl boss. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But I did eat one right before I hopped on this call.
There you go.
Good.
It's
Good.
Like I drink pre-workout before the gym.
You pre-eat for the pod.
Eat a cosmic brownie before the pod.
That's sometimes
I'm gonna start doing that.
Diet Coke that I'm crushing, but I didn't drink enough water today, and my skin's gonna break out if I don't. So I have to kill some water. So
it's like jittery.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god,
love it.
I'm obsessed with Diet Coke too. I'll do that instead of water way too easily.
There's like a Venn diagram of like theater girls and Diet Coke girls. It's just a circle. Like there is no separation. It's just the middle part. It's just a circle.
Literally. At my last job, I'm like a stage manager, and at my last like day job, my boss was also a stage manager, And I came in on my first day with the Diet Coke, and she was like, "See, that's how I know you're a stage manager."
Yes, there's something there.
Yep.
Teachers too. Teachers do that.
Also,
Oh,
teachers.
yeah.
A lot of teachers.
Very true. What's the middle of your pyramid, son?
The middle of my pyramid. So that pizza that I was eating earlier prompted that I had a different middle of the pyramid, but I'll save it for another time because this is fresh on the mind. The Little Caesars by my house. And I realized that
I like it. Your middle of your pyramids they're geographically based.
well, and I was
It is
gonna
like
say
beef with certain specific chains.
yes. And
Links in the chain.
the thing is, I'm very slowly doxing myself.
You
because
are.
If anyone
You
is
know
using
the last name.
That's
Yeah,
so
We
true.
know
last-
we
Be
went to
careful.
we
Yeah.
went to high school.
Yeah, last name, you know that there's a Little Caesars by my house. You know that
There's a Taco Bell.
yeah, there's a talk about like people are gonna start saying, okay, well, there's only certain parts of the country where all
Yeah.
those things could be and blah blah blah. But Little Caesars by my house, like Little Caesars is great. It's like $7 for a pizza, the
True.
cheapest you can get. I
Hot and
think
ready.
it is not the
Hot
best
and
pizza, but
ready.
you walk into the store, you get it, you get out. It's
Slay.
perfect.
Yep.
However, that is not always the case with my Little Caesars because there's a bunch of stoned teenagers that again shake my fist.
You just don't like
At
teenagers.
teenagers.
Yeah, you
I-
just hate kids.
I like
It's
kids.
like fuck these
I don't
kids.
like these kids. I think that so speaking of Venn diagrams, I think that the Venn diagram of the power lifters at my gym and the kids that work at Little Caesars,
Mhm.
there's an overlap there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like the same
They're
type
all
of
in high
kids.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, just like and they're all high and it
I
takes
was
them
gonna say,
forever.
the stone
like,
teenagers aren't making the best food. I feel like they would just throw everything on there.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
They do hold it down at the Taco Bell by his
Yes.
house, though.
Yes.
And that's what's
Yes.
important.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
the Taco Bell is incredible by my house. The Little Caesars leaves a lot to be desired. They just they make good pizza. It just takes forever. Like they don't anticipate that, hey, it's 6:30 p.m. on a weekend. Maybe we should have a pizza ready because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be hot. Whatever.
It's supposed to be hot and ready.
Exactly. And it is neither. It is not made.
It is cold and late.
It is being put into the oven and is behind schedule. So like it's not the thing that I need it to be. So, but when they finally like today, it actually was ready and hot. And so
Nice.
yeah, it
Right
was
here.
what
Very
I
exciting.
needed. So middle of the pyramid.
Love that for you.
Good stuff.
The middle of my pyramid is also food based. So shouts out to us for being on a theme that we were not aware of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mine would be the top of the pyramid, but I have something really good for the top of the pyramid, so I have to bump it down one. It is Campbell's tomato soup with a grilled cheese. It's just yup. It's just like so nostalgic and so what it is. And you just put that shit on the stove, cook a little grilled cheese, and I be dunking that grilled cheese in the soup. It's so good. And it's only salt and it's so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So tomato soup and a grilled cheese. Campbell's tomato soup specifically, not the healthy version. Get that shit out of here.
Mm-mm.
The real salted up version.
Oh yeah.
Campbell's tomato soup.
I want to feel my blood slow down when I eat it.
Yes, I want to feel my heart skip a beat from the salt. Yeah. That's it. It's just really good. It would be at the top of my pyramid. There are no drawbacks in theory, but the thing at the top of my pyramid's too good. So
I
I had to
would-
bump it down.
And that's how it is with the pyramid, you know.
Yeah, that's so true. It would
The
be
middle
natty.
can go either way.
This is it's the Chloe. You know what I mean? It's like it would be, but there's something that's just like the best. So it's just this is Chloe. She's the second to first.
I might argue that
Chloe.
like eating a grilled cheese with tomato soup like in the summer doesn't really make sense. So like it's a great food, but it's not. It's
doesn't
only
hit.
seasonal.
And it's like
Seasonal.
gross outside. It's cold here in Nashville. Like it's like time. It's soup season.
Has
Indeed.
it snowed where you guys are?
No.
It
No?
won't snow here until March usually.
It just
Okay,
gets
good.
cold and shitty and rainy
Yeah.
Yeah.
and wind blows a lot, but
Yeah.
it'll snow like one time. We'll
In
get
March.
an inch and a half weirdly in March, and that's it.
Yeah.
Word.
So
That's what it's
dumb.
been like. It hasn't snowed in New York in like over 700 days or something. In New York City, I mean.
What?
Whoa.
It snowed this weekend, but it rained at the same time, so nothing stuck.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kids,
Yeah.
Interesting.
anyone who's
Our
listening,
planet's dying.
pull all the money out of your 401k. You're not going to need it.
Yeah.
You're not.
You're
making
not
it.
gonna need it. We're
You're
not making
getting
it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
Lord.
worrisome, that's for sure.
Well, what's at the top of your pyramid to
Yeah.
counterbalance global warming? What's the
Moving right
top of your
along.
pyramid?
Yeah, yeah. Besides that, I guess that's at the bottom of all of our pyramids, hopefully. Top of my pyramid, it's so general and basic. I just put theater. 'Cause you know what?
I'm gonna cry.
Right now, I'm like low key unemployed. But I'm booking stage management gigs, which
Good
is
for
what I
you.
want to do.
Yeah.
I got to make more money off of it to do it sustainably, but it's what I
Yeah.
love to do,
Yeah.
and it's what I am doing right now. And yeah, I'm loving it.
That's good shit. Have you seen Theater Camp on Hulu?
Oh, just shut up, of course.
That's a movie that has Jimmy Tatro in it, who
Yes.
we love from American Vandal. We were
Yes.
just talking
Oh
about
my God,
that.
I love that fucking
He is
show.
so good in both of those things. And I watched a bunch of interviews with him talking about theater camp and about how it was just like one long form improv exercise and all the adults were just like dicking around. The kids had lines, but the adults were just like, let's just see what happens if we're just doing long form improv. And he was like, the uncut version of that movie is like 7 hours long. He's like, I wish we
I
could
would watch
show
it.
that. I would watch the
Yeah.
shit out of that. Are you kidding? Absolutely.
No, I absolutely loved that movie.
Was there a ghost in my house? That thumb just popped up again.
It
I didn't even do
did. That was
anything.
weird.
What's
Ah!
happening? Hang on.
Back off.
That just appeared. I didn't even talk with my hands or nothing.
You're gonna
Yeah,
feel a
that was
cold
weird.
chill on the back of your
Yeah.
neck.
A really chill ghost that's like thumbs up. And everything's all right. What's the top of your pyramid?
I have two.
Oh God.
Yeah. So the first one, I went to Colorado a little over a week ago, like this last weekend,
Slay.
and went to Breckenridge, which I've said this before, but it is just the cutest little mountain town of multimillionaires. And it was the first time I'd ever been, and it's gorgeous. And while I was there, Breckenridge is great. That's not the top. What is the top though is the hot chocolate that I found there.
Oh, I saw you post about that on Instagram.
Homie, yeah, I did post about it on Instagram. And so there's this hot chocolate shop next, and it's like hot chocolate and fudge next to a cookie shop, and they're owned by the same people. Line out the door down the sidewalk, so like this is the
That's good
place.
shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
went in
good
there.
stuff.
Yeah, they had like 8 different flavors of hot chocolate. I just got the classic because like you got to be able to do the basics first. And
gotta walk before you can run.
yeah, they do something that's first of all, they make it with milk instead of hot water because get that shit out of here. And but they not only is it already like pretty rich and creamy, and it's also the perfect temperature, but they do a very small thing which makes, I think, all the difference. They put a handful of marshmallows in first and then pour the hot chocolate over them so that like a little bit of the sugar like melts off and it mixes as it goes. It's why when you make an alcoholic beverage, you don't like make the beverage and then pour ice in over the top of it. You put ice in first, pour the beverage over the top of the ice, and then it like gives the ice a chance to like barely water it down just enough so you get all the flavor, not the sharpness. Same shit with hot chocolate. Best hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. Straight up 10 out of 10. No notes. It was
probably
incredible.
like thickens it up, the marshmallows.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
It makes it just a little bit sugary, a little bit creamier. It is phenomenal.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
Slay.
And so, and now I find myself, this should have been the middle of my pyramid because I keep chasing that high. I've gotten hot chocolate 4 times in the past week and a half since then.
No peace.
None have even come close.
No, I get that.
So that's one top of the pyramid. The second one is just the city of Washington, D.C. It is delightful. I've been there a couple times now. Went and visited Patrick and Leah. Shout out to Patrick and Leah.
I love them.
And my brother Sam came with me this time. We went to a Commanders game. They got their backs blown out by the Cowboys, but it was still a lot of fun. Got hot chocolate there. Wasn't very good. And then I threw out the souvenir cup. It cost me $11 and I threw it out.
What the fuck?
I carried it with me like 2 miles from the stadium and then just absent-mindedly
You just like tossed.
Yeah. I had made it almost to the place we were going. Anyway, but DC, it has no for those that haven't been, it has no skyscrapers. There's like a limit on how tall buildings can be. So like you can just see, you get on top of a building, you can see for freaking miles. The public transportation there is dope. A lot of the restaurants there are dope. There's great bars and stuff. It's just an adorable city. And yeah, we went and like saw the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution,
Yeah.
which I don't care, but there are a bunch of millennials and Gen Zers, and they're all just like, it's a sheet of paper, who cares? Like literally 90% of the people that were in there to see it were like, that's it.
I only care because it's the document in National Treasure.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
right.
oh my God.
That's the thing from National
I
Treasure.
overheard someone else do a
I'm gonna
Nicolas
steal.
Cage impression.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Sam and I also did the impression. And
Yeah,
so
of
like,
course.
yeah, that was fun. But like the city of DC is just great. It's just great.
Slay. I
There's
love
just
that.
tons of like rainbow flags everywhere and Black Lives Matter posters. And you walk
that's
by and
good.
hear people talking shit about Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Just like, all like
That guy sucks.
just a good city of people.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, the top of my pyramid is a moment that I had that is second in terms of like feeling like I've reached the pinnacle of human existence. It is second only to the time that Curtis Connor spoke to me during his stand-up special. I have been noticed on TikTok by Brittany Broski.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw my ex-boyfriend out in public. I had a very unfortunate, very frustrating interaction with him. And I went home and I made a TikTok. And it says, it says, listening to this clip from the Broski Report after every minor inconvenience, I am just drying my hair.
I'm like, how did I miss this? I'm pulling it up.
But it's the clip. This is the clip that she says. Hang on.
He wasn't funny. He didn't get my sense of humor. He wasn't witty. He did not match me anywhere. Intellectually, looks, success, talent, intelligence, absolutely none of it. And I put up with it. He was an idiot.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's fully just me drying my hair with the caption listening to this episode of the Broski Report after every minor inconvenience. And it like was doing well and whatever. And I'm not an influencer. I'm not anybody on the internet, but like TikTok like pushes your video out more after you reach the 10,000 view mark. It like sends it out like harder. And I was like watching it over the course like 3 or 4 days, and then it hit that 10,000, and then I was like checking my phone every like 5 minutes and seeing the views and the likes and stuff go up, and I was like, yes, this is great.
Yeah.
But I had tagged her in the description. And at like 4 a.m., I had to go up and I went, oh my God, the thumb is back. At like 4 a.m., I went up and I got up and went to the bathroom and checked my phone. And lo and behold, I have a little screenshot where it says Secret Brittany, which is the name of her burner account. Secret Brittany has liked your video.
Yes.
And I was like, which is crazy also to think the ghost in my house really likes that this is happening. The thumb thing is crazy. It's wild to think that she has seen my face and like knows what my face looks like and has like perceived me as like, that's a human being who's a fan of mine. I hate that. I can't think about that too long or I'm going to freak out probably a little bit. I'm going to like piss and shit my pants a little bit. I freaked. The next like 24 hours, I was just at work like, Brittany Broski knows what my face looks like. Yep. Brittany Broski has seen my face. That's crazy. So
no,
top of my
shit's
pyramid.
Always so crazy. Yeah.
It was wild. And for it to have happened, oh my God.
Move this way.
Why is it doing that?
No, I genuinely think that mirror
is like the light.
Oh, no, scoot back over a tiny bit that way. Yeah. Try that.
Okay, we're gonna still here for a second. Yeah. It's so weird. Y'all saw me turn off the reactions and it's still doing it. Anyway, top of my pyramid, nothing can ruin it.
Hell yeah.
It was the best.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway, that's it.
See, that's when the thumbs up should have popped up.
Yeah, for real. Fuck you, ghost in my house. Damn. Okay, are y'all ready to talk about this episode?
Jesus.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. You mean the longest episode in the history of ever?
Yeah. There are some things in this episode that we can fully just like not talk about. Namely, like there's a moment where like Kathy goes to look at costumes with Vivi. It takes like 5 minutes. Like they spend time on it. Nothing comes out of it. We can, mention it and then just move on because there is so much that deserves to be talked about. Not everything that happens in this episode is weighted equally, I guess is the best way of saying that.
Yeah,
some of this shit we can just skip.
There's so much Candy Apples content. It's like insane.
Yeah, it is. And then you had sent us a deleted scene when it
Yes.
pops up in the
I don't know where it is chronologically, but I'll
Okay.
definitely be bringing it up at some
Yes.
point. I just
Yes.
wanted
that
to,
no, that's
wanted to give you guys a heads up.
it was so weird, and it answers a lot of questions. Like, anyway, we'll get to it. I'm glad that you
Yes.
sent that over because it did help fill in some gaps of like my understanding of the episode. Okay, so this is season 3, episode 13. This is called Apple of Her Eye. This is infamously known as the Rosa Parks episode.
Yeah.
I remember last week when I was like, next time on Dance Moms, usually I'm like closing out the app by the time that hits because I don't want any spoilers.
Right.
But I was like, next time on Dance Moms, the group dance is called Rosa Parks. And I out loud alone watching this went, what? I was like, what? I
Yeah.
texted you
Yeah.
immediately and you're like, oh yeah.
I was like, it's Rosa
yeah.
Parks.
Yeah.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Yeah.
And they knew it too, because this is such a long episode.
Yeah, they were capitalizing on that for sure. For people who are not familiar with who Rosa Parks is, because we do have we have a chunk of listeners who are not in the States who may
Oh,
not know
word.
who that is. So during the time of institutionalized systemic segregation, where Black people and white people in the States were not allowed to commingle. So in public places like bathrooms or water fountains, or in this specific case, buses, it was like, it at the time would say like Blacks only or coloreds only and whites only. And that was kind of like the moniker for different things. And in busing situations, Black people would be forced to sit in the back of the bus and white people would be allowed to sit in the front of the bus. And so in the incident of Rosa Parks, she was a Black woman who was sitting at the front of the bus and she was asked to move and she was like, no. And then she got arrested. And then after that became this like, not social justice.
Social rights.
Like civil rights activist.
Civil rights,
Social
yeah.
justice sounds really cheap, but like civil rights activist, a integration icon, desegregationist icon, all these things. And for a while, at least when I was in school, I got this narrative that Rosa Parks was like really like tired and like been out of shape and like really rude about it. And now as an adult, and I think that's because I went to school in the South, where segregation was like, a bazillion times worse.
It was like the South.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just like, she's like,
Huh.
like low key, the narrative was that she was kind of a bitch about it. And
that's crazy.
I just now as an adult have heard multiple times, like she was literally existing. She wasn't what is it, like an aggressive civilian.
Yeah,
She
the
was
whole
just
thing
sitting.
was it was like a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, every time that there's like any sort of civil rights movement in any capacity, the the people in power will be like, okay, well, why can't you just do it peacefully? Okay, well, not like that. Like she did it peacefully and was still arrested.
She got arrested. Yeah.
People
Yeah,
march and chant
exactly.
and are still arrested and beat up by cops and shit. So cool country we live in. I was actually in DC and I went to the African American Museum for the second time. And there's obviously a piece on Rosa Parks, like a piece of the museum. But if you have a chance to go visit DC anyway, but when you go to the African American Museum, it is phenomenal. It's really, really great. Yeah. And give yourself a couple hours to be there because it's like 4 floors and there's a lot of great stuff to get through.
Yeah. Love a good museum.
Indeed.
And Washington, D.C. museums are no joke.
Very true. Very true. But that story, that narrative of Rosa Parks is like unfortunately a central like plot point of this goofy episode of this dumbass reality TV show.
Yeah.
But she changed the game for a lot of women and women of color, Black women in particular. She is this like central icon for a lot of these spaces. And it matters that we talk about it because Rosa Parks was obviously openly, proudly Black. And that's going to come up in this episode that Rosa Parks is an icon because she was a Black woman. That's going to come up later. But to start it all off, that's where we're headed. That's what we're focusing on. That's what we're latching on to. You know what I mean? It's this narrative about Rosa Parks that is badass by itself and then is cheapened and made to look kind of goofy by Lifetime TV. And specifically Abby Lee Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I take that back. It's not really Abby, it's Jill, but we'll get to her. We'll get to her eventually.
She's on her clown shit for sure.
You're so real for that. She is on her clown shit.
She is.
She really is. Okay, so previously on we had the don't ask just tell number that was
Oh my
like
god,
about it's about gay stuff, I guess.
which is another super long episode. They did like 2
Yeah.
back-to-back long episodes about like weird social issues.
The heaviest, like the weird, like why, Abby? Like,
For what? Who needed that? Who was that for?
And it
Literally
was
no
so
one.
bad too, like the hip hop. Oh my god.
It was yeah, it was homophobic. You know what I mean? It
It
was. Not
was.
good.
And they got 7th. Ridiculous.
Also homophobic.
How dare they?
Ridiculous. Yeah. If you're gonna do something about gay stuff, it needs to eat. And you got 7th? No. It needs to be first. Nothing else.
Unacceptable.
It's a hate crime.
It is a hate crime.
That routine was a
It
hate
is
crime.
also true. And then also Mackenzie with the foot thing about the foot being hurt or not hurt, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, this week we are in Pittsburgh. The girls are going into the main room. Melissa is like nervous about, like, you know, we got 7th place last week. Abby's gonna hate that. And Abby comes in and she's like, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck y'all's problem is. Basically what she says. And she's
Yeah.
like, how do we get back up to like the like leading score, top score, whoever, whatever, because this isn't working for her sensibilities at this point. The pyramid of children, the worst child, the one on the most bottom, is Mackenzie, predominantly because Abby thinks that the foot thing was a little suspicious.
And-
She's like, I don't know what's going on. The foot thing was weird.
And do you know what actually happened with the foot?
Oh, do tell.
So we had a listener write in and said that it was something like that the timing of the filming didn't make sense. And also that it was, what did he say, like Munchausen by proxy, that Melissa like made her be hurt and was like, pretend to be hurt. What did you hear? What's the tea?
Mackenzie has an extra bone in her foot. It's like some medical condition, and they didn't know what it was at first, and that's why it was causing her pain, but she kept going to the doctor, nothing was broken, so she was getting cleared to dance.
Are we
And
gonna
so-
get canceled?
I didn't say a word. This is on you, dog.
I am not ableist. I swear to God, I did not know that.
No, but it's like a huge thing on the show, and like, you know, Back to the Bar with Christy and Kelly, they're like covering also season 3 right now, and they're still just like so uptight about the whole foot thing, and I'm like, can we have a little grace?
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Wow, I did not know that. That makes sense though, that it would hurt, but then when you do any sort of like if you did an x-ray, it would make sense. But if it was just like my foot hurts a little bit and the doctor's like, well, it's not broken, there's no bruising,
Yeah.
there's no need to do an x-ray, you know.
Exactly.
And honestly,
Interesting.
Mackenzie, like, you know, Abby kind of brings up like your
That's
foot,
crazy.
whatever. And Mackenzie says in her talking head, like, I wasn't doing cartwheels on my hurt foot. And because she was
She
doing cartwheels,
wasn't.
but she was noticeably doing them and landing just on one foot.
Slay.
So-
Exactly. Like they roll the clip, and
Yeah.
she's still in the right. So
True.
I get tight about the other moms like being so uptight about that. I'm like, let's have a little grace for the youngest one on the team, huh?
Yeah. Let's maybe calm down a little bit. Maybe that's
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Borderline infant.
Yeah, this single digit age child,
Yeah.
like who's got a medical condition. Let's maybe relax a little bit on her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That's good
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
Well, she's the worst. She's
Yeah,
still
but
on
she's the worst
bottom
and
of
at the bottom of the pyramid.
Pickle
And she
Yeah,
doesn't dance
duh.
at all this week.
Yeah, nothing. She doesn't get a solo. She doesn't get anything.
Yeah.
Well, she does get something.
She gets a makeup thing that we'll get to
Right.
in a minute. But
Right.
she's benched. Paige is next. And Abby says that she was good and fine. And Kelly says Paige could win a Nobel Prize and she would still be at the bottom of the pyramid, which
Correct.
is true.
Exactly.
And then Brooke, for the same reason of too slow, not enough energy.
Yeah, she
Mhm.
lacks zip.
They're just both Kelly's kids, so they have to be on the bottom.
Yeah, the Highland girl
Yeah,
stay
duh.
on the bottom.
That's so true. The Highland girls stay losing, unfortunately.
They hold it down for us, you know?
That's true.
Hey, every
Very
pyramid's got to
true.
have a solid foundation. Am I right?
Right here.
So true. Exactly.
Very true. The middle of the pyramid, we start with Chloe, which is very exciting because she's back on the pyramid and
And
she hadn't been for a while.
And
It's been,
immediately
like,
jump to
5
the Highland
weeks.
girls.
Yeah. Also,
Yep.
she's immediately not on the bottom, so
Yeah.
that's great. Notably not on the bottom. Maddie is next. She was second again, which was not great.
Mhm.
And then Kendall, Kendall with the new headshot, and Jillian's when she goes, "Do you guys like that new headshot? Do you like that new headshot?" And Kelly's like, "I didn't know we were getting new headshots."
Yeah. Oh, were we getting new headshots?
Oh, that's
for
so
the
interesting. I
pyramid?
didn't know we were getting new
I
headshots.
didn't. Did you know we were getting new
So
headshots?
funny.
It's amazing. And she's like, "Did you guys like it?" And then Holly like makes a Dr. Holly face, and she's like, "Girl, whatever. This is stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it here." And then at the top of the pyramid, Nia, let's
Woo!
fucking go.
We
You
love
love
to
to
see
see
it.
it. You love to see it.
Yes,
was wild.
yes.
Abby says she has a great face, and Holly says it's a great that like all of this is worth it. She's made it like it's the payoff of like child, do the hard work. Here is the payoff. Like we've closed the like lesson loop. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
Abby-
Very good.
absolutely.
Abby likens her to Beyonce on stage.
She does.
Yes,
Yes.
she does. And after she
God.
says that, both Holly and Nia are like glowing.
Yeah.
Nia is a huge Beyonce fan.
Well, to be frank, that's the highest compliment that could be
Are you
paid. to
kidding?
Exactly. And like
Yes.
coming from Abby, that's a lot. That's a
If
lot.
someone told me I was Beyonce on stage, I'm like, oh, who, me?
Thank you.
Me?
I'm surprised Abby even knows who Beyonce is. Like she
Oh my
seems
God.
to live in like such a hole of like not like social awareness. I'm surprised she was like, I could be better than Beyonce. Beyonce doesn't have anything on my choreography, blah, 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 whatever. This week we're going to Powerhouse Dance in Cincinnati, Ohio. The last time that we saw Kathy, we lost. So a little nervy about that, but it should probably be fine.
Yes.
And this is where we get the introduction to the fact that the group number is about Rosa Parks. Maddie says she only knows who Rosa Parks is because of her mom. Apparently she's not learning who Rosa Parks is in school, which is a crime.
Well, how old is
Yeah, I think I don't know. I felt so weird about that comment. It was very odd.
Is she homeschooled at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
And I re-listened to the Back to the Bar episode today before we
Mhm.
recorded because I like to write down the little behind the scenes stuff.
Thank you.
And they just they speculated that they made Maddie say, like the producers made Maddie say that. So so that
That
the
could also be
moms
true.
could maybe possibly argue about like Maddie being homeschooled and how that's not good compared to the other kids or whatever, which is
Yeah.
an issue at some point, either this episode or before or later, I don't remember.
Huh.
Interesting.
But
Well,
just my take.
she's like, I know who Rosa Parks is because of my mom. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, sure,
I
Jan.
don't even remember when I learned about Rosa Parks.
I would have been
Definitely elementary school.
elementary school. Yeah,
Well, I
for
went
sure.
to a private school during elementary school.
Mhm.
I don't know. A lot of my childhood is blocked out. Too many concussions, am I right?
It was definitely elementary school. I remember seeing a picture book about Rosa
Sure.
Parks.
Okay.
So that would have been
Yeah.
elementary school. So she's old
Um,
enough to know. She should know by this point. This isn't
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
serious. She should know by this point.
Absolutely. Did you happen to write down what exactly Abby said about Rosa Parks? Because it kills
No.
me.
What'd you
It's not
got?
like a bad thing, but every time she says it, I'm like, I wouldn't say that. I don't know. She says that Rosa Parks broke down barriers, yes, and united entire races.
That's right. Yes. She
And
said
that I was
united-
like, Abby,
mate, I mean, that I think
that I
that's-
wish.
yeah, it's kind of a what's the word a naive perspective.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
exactly.
reductive.
Oh, we went through the civil rights movement of the 60s and now everything's fucking
Everything's
great.
fixed.
Right, yeah.
No.
It's like people will say the same thing about Obama being president. It's like, well, once Obama was president, we solved racism.
Racism,
No.
racism's over. Like, it's
Yeah,
done.
racism's canceled actually
Well done,
because
everyone.
of Rosa Parks and Barack Obama.
We did
Exactly.
We're good. Yeah. That's so funny. That's a good point. Okay, let's see. Holly says that the Rosa Parks part in the group number is obviously going to be Nia. Duh. And Abby's like, I wouldn't be so sure. Don't get too comfortable. I haven't decided who Rosa Parks is going to be yet. And the group starts giggling. And they're like,
it. Yeah, like what?
Because they're like, are you fucking kidding?
like the only
Even the
black
kids.
child. Like, be so serious right now. This is insane.
Yeah.
Well, they like she says, I haven't decided yet, and Holly loudly clears her throat and goes, really?
Really?
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
such a fucked up thing to hold over Nia's head,
Yes.
I think,
Yeah.
because, you know, she's doing this. Her reasoning is that she wants Nia to earn it, right? She
Yes.
wants her to prove that she deserves this solo.
Right.
And also because Holly has made so many comments to Abby about the typecasting
Sure.
that she's like, well, if she wants to play Rosa Parks, she needs to earn this role. And I'm like, that's not what this is at all.
That's
This
not
is
what's
the
happening.
one time where like you should be typecasting.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, it's two different things because
Yes.
the typecasting, you're doing that to Nia based on a stereotype. Here, you're claiming to want to retell a historic lived experience that is predicated on a Black woman's life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I want to make her look exotic. It's not that, because that's the stereotyping bullshit that we should not be doing.
Yeah.
This is, I have a historic situation that I want to put out on the stage for whatever fucking reason she feels like this is what we're doing with children. I don't know. But if it's based on a real person and her whole like platform was based around something that is rooted in racism, that person needs to be Black. Like there's no
Yeah.
if, ands, or buts about it, bitch.
Yes.
That, like, come on, be so serious right now.
Yeah. And I do think
Okay.
everyone knew that like it was going to Nia at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like she was at the top of the pyramid, you know. And I know the whole Jill thing, but
When
I'll
Abby
get
was
it.
like, I haven't decided yet. Because I've never seen this before. I'm watching everything for the first time. I wasn't sure.
Were you stressed?
Yes, the whole time. Dude, I like, and you got like, you made a big deal. You're like, it's the Rosa Parks episode. And I was like, what does Abby do?
What do you mean?
What does Abby do? What am I about? And then I saw like in the description of the episode, it was like in this 2-hour special. I'm like,
Like,
oh no,
like,
Yeah.
fuck.
what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I also wouldn't put it past Abby. I mean, like that's a
Exactly.
fair enough like thing to be scared about. That's a
Yes.
fair enough concern is what I'm looking for. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Oh, I was so
Absolutely.
nervous.
You were stressed, huh?
Yeah.
She also at this point, Abby starts shitting on Holly's style
Out
weirdly.
of nowhere.
She's just like, by the way, also, you're ugly. And it's
Your
like,
outfit
okay,
sucks.
great. And also, Abby's not one to talk about people's outfits sucking because hers sucks
Red
the
plastic
most.
rhinestone crap and the blue
Blue
plastic rhinestone crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
Christy was all over it.
Yeah,
The
very true.
Holly stuff in this episode, like the whole taking her shopping and like giving her a makeover, is
Yeah.
so weirdly white savior. Like it's
Yes,
so
it is.
because like Holly does not want to do this, but she's being a good sport and going along
Yeah.
with the storyline for the episode so her daughter can have the lead in the Rosa Parks group dance.
I like
And it's
Jump-
just like, why are we putting this woman through this?
she's
Yeah.
jumping through hoops she really should not have to jump through.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the sake of something that seems insane, like her daughter getting a part in a group dance.
Yeah, and furthermore, she brings up she brings back the fact that Holly's an award-winning costume designer because
Girl.
like she did a costume and it like won
Girl.
the award for the competition or
Yeah.
whatever. Dude, it's just all so dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this happening?
It's so
It
stupid.
felt very out of nowhere.
It's so stupid.
It is. It's just like a weird storyline to shove into this episode.
Yeah, like
Not needed.
it did. Yeah, the episode was long enough by itself. You didn't have
Yeah.
to add in all the nonsense.
Yeah, true. Very
like
true.
Dr. Holly can't dress herself. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, Dr. Holly has the biggest brain out of anybody in that room.
Yeah.
Fashion is the least of Holly's concern. She's worried about carrying the backbone of the IQ in that room. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Absolutely.
She's educated. She's busy. You know what I mean? She's busy being in the bag. So she doesn't have time for fashion. Also, her fashion's not even that bad. So I don't know why
It's
people are
not.
shitting on her
That's what I'm
randomly.
saying.
Stupid.
It's like better compared to the other moms. Hers is more timeless compared to what the other
Right.
moms
More
wear.
classic.
She is.
They
class.
wear the craziest 2012 bullshit on that show.
like Jill's fuck ass fedora, man.
The fedora, the furs, the headbands,
Yep.
the
very
sequin
important to me.
tops.
Yes.
The bright
Yes.
pink and zebra print together.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
very important to me. I miss the 2010s. Oh my god, very important to me. Okay, we get the rundown of numbers. Kendall has a solo that's called "Look at Me Now." Maddie has a solo that's called "Breaking Down Walls."
I was really
Mhm.
hoping.
Paige and Chloe have a duet, which is very exciting, which we're talking about in a second. It's called "Broadway Blondes." You were hoping that what?
The Look at Me Now was going to be the Chris Brown song.
No,
Oh God.
No, but watching them try and dance to that would have been hilarious.
That is true. That would be kind of funny.
Like, that's not appropriate for kids at all.
No, also Chris Brown sucks.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Awesome.
what the duet wasn't appropriate for them either.
Oh, yeah.
When
It's
has-
in theory called Broadway Blondes.
It is.
Yes.
Is
It is Vegas. That episode that we did with like Vegas Showgirls or whatever it was called. This was
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
we're gonna get to it.
Not
it was
okay.
bad.
Yes. And that
Um,
is why the deleted scene I sent you guys, that is connected to the duet. And I want to touch on that later as well.
That's good to know. That's very good to know.
like-
Yes, we'll definitely get to that.
I like that there was a duet with, and Chloe was a part of it just because Chloe sucks, basically.
Right. Yeah. The reasoning is they couldn't do a duet together because Chloe was better than Paige and she was waiting for Paige to catch up to Chloe's level, but now Chloe has regressed to Paige's level,
That
which
is
is such
so
a fucked up thing to say to both of them.
Yeah, it's dunking on both of them with one fell swoop. I'll tell you this. I talk a bit about economy of language, like saying as much as you can with as few words as possible. Abby's the absolute queen of doing that. Just cutting down multiple children with very few words. Amazing.
Yeah.
True.
And that's why she's good on reality TV.
Perfect.
I
for
hate to say it. This
Yeah.
show, not her new show. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, her new show's ass. Abby's Madhouse or whatever the fuck it's called.
What
Yeah,
Abby's Ultimate
Madhouse.
whoever, whatever, no one cares anymore.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Whatever. What is it, like ex-cons so you think you can dance pretty much? It's insane. The moms go upstairs. They're like, oh my God, we're all back on the pyramid. It's taken 12 weeks for all the girls to get back. We're so excited about that. The moms are like talking about the Rosa Parks and being like, what the fuck does she mean? She doesn't know who it's gonna be. Holly's like, that's crazy, right? Like, we're all kind of in agreement here. And then Christy is like, if it's not Nia, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, she
She's
says
like, we
it's-
can't make a child look like Rosa Parks.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
they all
do
agreed
that.
that
Besides
they're not
Nia
doing
is
that.
very inappropriate.
Yeah, she's like, we're not gonna do that. I'm like, thank you so much for that. I
And
appreciate
in
it.
this scene, Jill says that Nia should be Rosa Parks.
Yes.
Wait, Jill says that Nia or Jill says that
Jill says
Kendall?
Nia should be.
Okay, well, she's gonna take that back in just a minute, but
Yeah,
love
behind
that
the
for
other
Jill.
behind the other mom's backs is when she's gonna go about her
True.
business.
Yeah, very true. Okay, we get to the group rehearsal. Mackenzie chilling on a bench.
Which is it's so funny because she, like, in terms of being benched, Abby
Uh-huh.
could just have her like kind of like sit in the corner
Yeah.
or hang out in the den or whatever.
She's
She literally
facing the
put
wall.
her on a bench 3
Facing
feet from a
the
wall and just
wall.
facing the wall. like
Oh
she's
my
just like looking
God.
over her shoulder, just like
She might as well be wearing a dunce cap. Like it was so silly.
so sad.
That
Like,
really caught me off guard. And then Abby asks if she knows what being benched means, and she kind of doesn't.
she's like, I'm literally
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
I don't know anything actually. I only want to eat chips and talk to Justin Bieber. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, same.
That's so Mackenzie.
Yeah, literally. And so this is like when, let's see, Abby thinks that all the moms are like like that because the moms don't like Abby, that's making their children bad. And that they're all mad at like each other or mad at her or something. I don't understand. And
Yeah, it's the mom's fault that the
Yes.
kids are scared of her. Yeah.
That's a theme
Yeah.
throughout the episode.
Okay.
It's very weird. It doesn't make any sense. And at this point, Christy and Kelly are kind of like, they're talking about that comment about like, well, Paige has just backslid so much that now Chloe can dance, or no, Chloe has backslid so much that now she can dance with Paige. And Christy's like, or Kelly's like, what the fuck? That's so rude. And Christy's like, do not mess this up for our children. They have been working their asses off for this. Do not go down there and start a fight. Don't mess this up, which is the policy that she will also adapt or adopt when the costumes come out, which we'll talk about in just a second.
Yeah.
But in this moment, she's like, do not go down there and start a fight and fuck it up. She's like, well, if she gets it that way, I don't even want her to have it. And Chrissy's like, shut up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
let's be
Be
happy.
cool. She
They
also-
agreed that week that they weren't going to fight about it because they wanted to just let the girls have something and have fun
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my God, it just continues to get icky and they continue to not argue about it because they didn't want to be the center of the episode.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Christy even mentioned, she's like, don't steal their joy. That's Abby's job.
Exactly.
Sure
Exactly.
is.
Period. We cut to being in Ohio. We get the goofy little like the little candy apple song.
They show us the cows.
Yes, it's everything to me. Ohio is just the land of cows. And all of the boys are at the candy apple studio. Kathy's like, okay, she does that goofy fuck ass digital pyramid that is with the little like bites as every picture like turns on.
Yes.
It's so
On the
funny.
TV. So good.
Cringeworthy. It's so awful.
And I didn't write down the order of the boys because it doesn't fucking matter,
doesn't
and we
matter.
don't even know who they are really. So I
Yeah,
didn't write it down.
I have
Word.
no idea. And she makes like Abby gives nothing comments. Kathy is like even less of nothing.
Yeah.
She doesn't
No, for
say
real.
any-
She's like, I'm so proud of you. Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. The group number for the candy apples is I literally can't say it.
Oh my God.
I want to peel my skin off.
Candy apple style.
Thank you, JB. I could not do it without you, Bestie. The like take on Gangnam Style that was sweeping the nation at the time.
She also says that
This-
incorrectly. She said Gundam style,
Yep.
which
Yep.
Gundam was an anime in like the early 2000s.
She's getting all the
That's
references.
funny.
Yeah, Gundam Wing was a show that I never watched, but it came on like after all the cartoons that I liked.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
late at night, I would start playing anime, and Gundam Wing was one of the shows.
She's getting
Just
too confused.
Gundam
Oh my
style, which
God.
is like Transformers but anime.
They filmed this episode in January 2013, and it just like
Oh.
screams January 2013.
There's no other timeline in which this episode makes sense. If it's
Mhm.
any other time other than January 2013, it doesn't make any sense. It has
Yeah.
to be then. Yeah.
She says Gangnam style, and all the kids start like,
And they're like, yeah. I'm
Okay.
like, stop. This is not the move. This is so embarrassing. Jalen also has a hip hop solo, and I'm scared. And then we go to a commercial.
Oh, this kid. Oh, this kid.
Bless him. Okay, so I'm gonna run this down. I'm gonna run down the plot points of this, and then I want to get everyone's opinions. This is kind of like one of the weird moments that like doesn't really need to be in the episode, so we can kind of like talk about it and then kind of like gloss over it. But essentially, what happens is Abby is in a boutique and she's shopping for Holly, and Jill and Holly show up, and there's these like not great comments about her body and like how she needs to dress better. And Jill is there allegedly to support Holly, but then she goes over and she's like, Abby, I know that you haven't like assigned the role of Rosa Parks to anyone. It's like, what are you looking for in the dancer who's gonna play that? And Abby's like, please don't talk to me about this. I'm doing something else right now. Please leave me alone.
well, she even says it might as well be Kendall.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, great.
Why?
She says
Ab-
that in interview. If you pay
Yes.
attention, and I'm not defending Jill in this moment. I'm not defending Jill.
not a Jill
But she
apologist.
never says that Kendall should be Rosa Parks.
She never says it to Abby.
She never says it, period. She
Well,
says
that's-
Ooh.
Go ahead.
it's like she walks around it a lot,
Yeah.
but she
Well,
never flat out says it.
Smart.
Well, she says if it doesn't go to Nia, it might as well be Kendall.
Yeah,
might
and she
as
says that in
well.
interview, so it's a pickup.
Interesting.
It's
She's playing
very-
a long game.
She's playing the long game, and she
Good for
was
her.
on the episode of Back to the Bar when they covered this,
Uh-huh.
and she was like defending herself.
Of course she
so
was.
clear what she's
Of course
trying
she
to do,
was.
though.
So funny. She was like, "It was production. They made me do it. They made me do it."
Girl.
And I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah, okay,
mhm."
girl. Anyway, so we get this conversation. Abby talks about the typecasting thing, which we've already discussed is not what's happening here. And Abby's like, well, Maddie's the strongest dancer. Like, I already know that, but like, I'm not gonna give this part to anybody. Obviously, it's gonna go to Nia. And like that's kind of it. Abby goes to check out and buy some stuff for Holly. She tells Holly and Jill to fuck off because she doesn't want them to see what she's buying. And that's
Yeah.
it.
So, go
Yeah,
ahead.
earlier she says Holly has a badonkadonk and big bunions, which is
Ooh.
just fucking rude.
It makes me nauseous. It makes me
Yeah.
feel a little queasy hearing shit like that.
Right?
Makes me feel makes my stomach hurt a little
She
bit.
said that Holly needs to keep her, what is it? I think thighs, calves,
Like
and knees covered.
ankles,
yeah,
and feet.
the knees, the
Yeah.
calves, the ankles cover it up. Like,
Yeah,
girl,
like what?
what? The knees, calves, and ankles cover it. What do you mean? Wear pants? What do you mean?
It's so
This
weird.
isn't making
It's
sense.
so weird and
Yeah.
just inappropriate.
I hate it.
One moment that I really enjoyed was when Holly and Abby were talking and Jill slithers up and tries to say she found some things. And Abby cuts her off and says, when two adults are speaking, you say,
Oh my
excuse me.
God.
And Jill just goes, oh, excuse me. And then keeps talking. Like, how do you let another adult talk to you? Jill has
I know.
almost as little spine as Melissa does, just doing whatever she can
For her
to,
kid.
yeah, to try and get Kendall preferential treatment and everything.
Yeah.
It's
Abby's
so
just so
gross.
fucking rude. It
Yeah.
blows my mind. It blows
And
my
Jill
mind.
just goes
Yeah.
right along with it. I don't know what's crazier.
Because
like,
that's how
Abby's-
you have to play the game, or else
I
she's gonna hate you.
But it comes so naturally to her, and being a dick comes so naturally to Abby. It's wild that both of those, like, that was such a weird thing.
Yeah, I feel the way about Jill that I feel about Kathy, where they're so fucking crazy that I'm like, wait, do I love her? Like,
No,
do I want to
exactly.
be her?
They are both amazing reality TV characters. They know how to
Yeah.
play the game. They know how to get a rise out of people. Like
True.
it, and they also hate each other's fucking guts.
Also,
Like
very
Jill and
true.
Kathy to this day cannot stand each other.
Good. That makes
It's
me
so
feel
funny.
good internally.
It's funny
I
because
like
like
that.
Abby and Kathy are friends now, but Kathy and
Right,
Jill,
yeah.
mm-mm.
Good. They
Well,
shouldn't be, bitch. They
there's, like,
shouldn't be.
There's like real malice in their interactions
Yeah.
with one another. That
Yeah.
shit
Love
is real.
that. I love that shit. I live for that shit. As long as no one's actually being harmed, I think that stuff is kind of fun, personally.
Right? Yeah.
Because they're all grown ass women who've made a fuck ton of money off of this and off of like brand deals and off their children and whatever. Like they can suffer a little bit and be fine. Like it's not that serious.
Yeah. They did their time on this show, that's for sure.
That's so true. Whatever they needed to get right karmically, they've already paid. That's very true. Let's see. So then after this, we go back to Ohio for just like truly like nothing. Kathy goes and has Vivi try on some costumes, allegedly for Jalen. I don't fucking know. And then that's it. And I just put, this is so weird and I hate it.
It's a fun little montage.
It is. Isn't that when doesn't Kathy do like a little lesson with Vivi too, like
That's
a little dance
later.
lesson? Oh, that's later? Okay.
Yeah, that's also a very weird moment that has nothing to do with anything, but that's later.
I thought it was nice though that they gave Kathy a couple moments where she like actually is a parent to Vivi.
Yeah.
Human
She
being.
gives a little bit of attention to her. I
Yeah.
thought it was nice.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We're back at the ALDC. Abby's in the den with Kendall and they're talking about like facial expressions. We get
Mhm.
this cute little like acting moment of like, she's like surprised, angry, sad, happy. And Kendall's like looking at her face in the mirror and she's like making all these facial expressions, doing like an acting exercise. And I don't know. It's kind of cute. I thought
It's really cute.
I like the moments that they give us like this of Abby being a human being
An
and not a
actual
Disney
teacher.
villain.
Yeah.
It's like kind of sweet. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you know, that's the nice part of the longer episodes because we did get a lot more of that in this episode. Like even
sure.
Right.
the Mackenzie doing makeup thing that comes up later. Like
Mhm.
it's just sweet little, you know, fluff stuff.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
It is.
The moms are upstairs at this point. You got it.
Oh no, it went away. Why'd you acknowledge it?
Oh,
It was gonna be
Now
such
you
a good
can't
one.
sneeze because I called it out.
Oh,
Oh, bless you in the future. The moms go upstairs. Jill's fur vest with the zip. I kind of love it. I think it's kind of eating a little bit because it's so ugly and stupid that I'm like, I want to wear that, I think.
It's so funny you say that because on the other podcast, Christy was like, I've been looking for that vest for years. Like, it is
Yes.
my favorite piece of yours.
It's so big and like it's got that gaudy ass zipper and the like
Yup.
elastic that I know is probably so uncomfortable and I want to buy it. I want to live in that vest. I don't know how to explain it and frankly I can't and I won't. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
explain it. I can't and I won't. Let's see. Christy says that all the moms are upstairs. Christy's like, Jill's the most ridiculous person I've ever met, obviously, duh. And Holly's like, well, y'all need to get into this. Jill is trying to get Kendall to be Rosa Parks. And the moms are like, are you kidding? And Kelly's like, not so, they're like, are you kidding? But they're not really that surprised. Christy is like cracking up because she's like, this is insane.
Yeah.
That you want your white child to portray Rosa Parks over a black
Yes.
child is crazy. That's crazy.
And what Kelly says is the best.
Yeah, what
She's like, you need to play stupid. Pretend you didn't know who Rosa Parks was. Like, go downstairs and be like, I thought she was someone else.
Yeah.
I
That
think
is-
that's so funny that she like kind of tried to give her an out like that.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Yeah.
also that she was like, it's believable that you would be this dumb Jill. Here's
Yeah.
your story.
Yeah.
Yes.
So funny. Go down there and tell her you didn't know Rosa Parks was is crazy. That's hilarious. And instead, Jill goes down there and she's like, Abby, the moms are being really mean to
Yeah,
me.
they're bullying me.
And Abby calls one of the moms a bimbo, and Jill is like, it's no matter what I do, I can't win. And Abby's like, Jill, the fact that you're down here bothering me takes Kendall out of the running, which she wasn't in the running in the first place. And she's like, Mia,
Exactly.
you're Rosa Parks. Great. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
and
sick.
instead
Glad
of
we cleared that up.
yeah, instead of
okay.
Abby owning like, oh, I was gonna do this anyway, now she has an out to blame it on one of the moms.
Yeah, to
Exactly.
slam dunk on
Any
someone.
chance.
Yeah, any chance she can get. Let's see. So then this maybe is a good time to talk about the behind the scenes clip that you sent us, because Abby calls Kelly down to the desk just for a second. And she's like, Kelly, you have a piss poor attitude. And because you don't like me, your child is untalented. And it's
Mhm.
very weird. And then we cut to a commercial. So I don't know. Is now a good time to talk about what that
Sure,
extra
because we're
footage
gonna
is?
get into the duet soon.
Yeah,
So the
coming
duet,
up.
it's called Broadway Blondes, but the music itself is way more like showgirl-y, you know.
Yeah.
And the costumes they wear, it's like it goes around their neck and then it's like a string down and around their chest and then a string down and around their crotch. And like
Hate it.
it is an awful, awful costume.
Yeah.
Um
Abomination.
so I sent you both a little behind the scenes clip from that week, like it was a deleted scene. And it was two choreographers, Rebecca, I think, and Grant Davies. They came to the ALDC. They're from Australia, and they were really big choreographers over there. And they are the ones who choreographed this duet. Abby didn't choreograph it,
Oh.
it was them. A few
Oh.
months, maybe a year later, Grant Davies was arrested for like sexual assault and like child pornography of his own dance students. I know.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
know. I know. And I don't know if that's why he was cut from the episode and they said let's not even show him. But yes, and the sister, Rebecca, has continued to work with Abby to this day.
Well, I think that's it. We can probably call it.
All
there.
right, that's the pyramid. Thanks so much
Thanks
for
so much.
listening.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Holy
I
fuck.
I want to bring that up because there are so many people who are just adjacent to dance moms who have like been arrested for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like in later season 5 when they like go out to LA, this director that they work with a couple times has been arrested for the same exact thing. And it's just
I
like
hate it here.
this is an environment that predators can thrive in.
Yeah,
You know?
for sure. I
And-
remember this being a really big conversation because Toddlers and Tiaras on
Yes.
TLC was its like main, was it daytime competitor? And it was
Mhm.
the same conversation, even though it was a different family every week or whatever. It was that same thing of like predators are hiding in plain sight in these
Yes.
arenas because it's all about that kind of thing, and it's all about children. And if you are a bad person, you can find a safe space in this activity and be a bad person openly.
Mhm.
That's wild. Okay, the clip that you sent us was just them like giving a pep talk about how they need to not hate Abby so much. I didn't know
Which is
that-
also ridiculous.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
that was
all
another
that.
thing. Like there's an like undercurrent of plot in this episode of them like being like disrespectful to Abby or fucking whatever when
Yeah.
she's the most disrespectful person in the world.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
False
to
confidence
have,
at the
you know,
house.
this pedophile come in and back her up, you know, it's a real good look for her.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh fuck.
in that clip, they had the moms doing like burpees
They
and
did.
doing
Well, that was fun.
wheelbarrows with their kids, like playing through like boot camp type shit. Like we're not trying out for an NFL team. We're a bunch
Like,
of 10-year-olds dancing.
Simmer down.
Yeah.
It's
Settle
not
down.
that serious.
I know. I loved like Holly not being able to do it and she's just laying on the floor cracking up. I was like, this is so cute and fun if you take away,
The
the
pedophilia.
context.
Pedophilia. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I know they do a lot of risque dances on this show, but this is one that I really cannot stand to watch.
Okay, this is actually legitimately helpful for me because I thought like, am I thinking about the other risque inappropriate dances that they've done and I'm not taking them with enough severity? Because like this one is crazy.
Yeah.
The music, the choreography, and the costumes are fucking nuts. I have in my notes later on when we see them in the performance, this should not have been on television.
Can I be honest with you guys? I've got about 4 seconds in the dance and just started skipping through it.
You're like,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
This is-
Yeah.
No,
this
it
is
makes you
awful.
feel gross.
It's
I heard the music and I saw like the hip thing and I was like,
You're like,
nope,
nope.
we can
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah.
No, the
it's
other dances they
bad.
do, there's like enough, I feel like plausible deniability. Like,
Yeah.
Like
like-
this one is just overtly sexual.
Yeah. The first I remember when they were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania with the
For
electricity
electricity.
number, I remember those costumes and I remember thinking like, okay, if we're just going to look at just the garment, not on a body, but if we're just looking at the garment as a thing, what's the difference here? And I noted that like with the electricity tights, they were thicker. That outfit had a skirt, it had a
Mhm.
waist, it had a structure. The outfits that these poor underage children are given are nothing. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. And
Yeah.
I understand now why this episode's not on Hulu. This episode, I found this
Is it
episode on
not?
I watched it on Hulu.
I found this
Hulu has
episode.
them all out of order.
Hulu has them out of order. Someone
Oh.
else,
Yeah, it's
someone wrote
very
me an email
confusing.
about that. We need to start watching them on something else because we're out of order on Hulu.
Oh.
The
But-
entire show's on Disney Plus right now for some
It's on Disney
goddamn
Plus.
reason.
I watched it literally today.
I don't
Hulu.
understand. Oh, maybe it was just out of order and I'm an idiot, which is probably true.
It's-
I watched on Disney Plus today. It should not have been, it shouldn't be anywhere anymore. This should be an unfound, lost to time thing. Or since we're in an era of streaming, Disney going on the back end and cut that shit out. You don't need to upload the whole fucking thing. You could go
Yeah.
in and just take that piece out and be done with
They
it.
did the same thing with the movie Dumbo.
They also did the same thing with an episode where all the girls are wearing nude costumes because Abby wants them to look naked.
That one got entirely pulled from circulation within a
Gone.
week of it airing. This
Gone.
one, like, just I feel like they were so far in to the show at this point that it was just kind of
Man.
like par for the course,
I guess.
which is
It just-
ridiculous. But
Jesus.
Okay, well, we don't have to keep talking about.
I know that was heavy, but
No, but thank you for that.
definitely important to bring up.
Yeah, I did not know any of that shit. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's
We
nasty.
get a little bit of that rehearsal. Abby pulls Paige aside and is like, "You need to like me more," basically, and then they fuck off, and that's
Well,
it.
Well, I'll say this.
Well, it was kind of an okay conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was actually a little bit okay. It wasn't all about that necessarily. She was just like even Kelly mentioned, like she can hear the conversation that's being had
Mhm.
up in the Lido deck, and she's like, I actually appreciate Abby having this conversation with her. Like Abby was a little shitty, but like for Abby, that's still better
Yeah.
than most.
Yeah.
And so Kelly was like, I appreciate her having that conversation. So
That's fair.
there
It
is that.
The Highlands are so like, they were close family friends with Abby their entire lives until the show like destroyed everything.
It's so sad.
And that's why like I'm pretty sure Abby was at Paige's baptism. Like they were like close family friends. So it is nice to see her kind of take her aside and talk to her like a human.
Yeah.
But I do believe that this might be the last time that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly,
for sure.
Kelly also mentioned she wants to make Abby eat crow, which Abby says to Paige, I want you to make me eat crow. And Kelly's like, she don't know what that means.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that.
And then
but
Jill
okay.
adds, she's like, yeah, she should eat crow with a little shit on top.
Yeah, it's so
Cool,
good.
Jill. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jill staying topical. You love to see it. We get a little bit of Maddie solo. At this point, Melissa mentions that Mackenzie is apparently the next YouTube beauty guru, and she's been slaying the makeup game. I don't fucking know. Holly smells a stunt. Holly's like, oh, okay, sure, Melissa. Now that
Holly
you get
smells
hands.
bad parenting is what Holly smells. She says
Yeah.
your daughter is locking herself in a room and recording herself and uploading it to the internet, and you don't know what she's doing.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Melissa also pretty casually mentions, "Oh, she got a hold of my credit card buying
Yes.
iTunes somehow." Like,
Yes, apparently there used to be this app that was $99 and Mackenzie bought it like 7 times or something.
She is just like me for real.
she's a little menace, dude.
She is a menace.
That's little sister in the 2010s energy.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not understanding how credit cards work.
Melissa paying all of her attention to Maddie, and Mackenzie's
I
just
mean-
going fucking rogue.
She's like racking up money on like those like online gambling websites. Like,
Yup,
she's like
yup.
running a ring. She's like got the visor on. Yeah, that's Mackenzie at this
Selling
point.
bootleg DVDs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. Then let's see. We get the moms in the den with Abby for costumes, just like for just a second. We're gonna come back to costumes in a moment.
Mhm.
Well, one really quick, Abby, during the solo rehearsal with Maddie, Abby says that like the whole thing is breaking down a wall, and on the other side you're free. And she says, when you achieve stardom, you can't bring everyone with you, and it's better without them. And
Yeah,
then
once
even-
again, nobody loves you, everyone's jealous of you.
yes, she's like,
Except me. I love you, and I'm not jealous
exactly.
of you
And
at all.
even Abby makes a face after she says that. She's like, and it's better without them. Oh, like this.
Which is funny
Oh.
because is Abby a part of Maddie's life now when she's
Yeah.
so uber successful?
yeah.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fuck
Very
you,
interesting.
Abby. I can't stand her.
Fuck
I
you,
really
Abby Lee
can't.
Miller. And I said that shit. You know what I mean?
And I said it, and you know, I'm not usually so explicit about it, but you know, this is a safe space.
True. You feel free to pop off. Feel safe to
Yeah.
pop off. Okay, in Ohio, that we're getting like a little bit about the Candy Apples group number. It is a very weird dynamic because Kathy has brought in a choreographer named Anthony who seems to be an actual professional.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes,
Who's
he
not
is.
putting up with Kathy or the unsolicited opinions of the dads.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, I'm literally just here to do my job. You guys are stressing me out. Can you fuck off?
And the
He was
thing,
on Abby's Ultimate
off,
Dance
King.
competition,
really?
and he went
Oh.
on to be on Raising Asia, which was the show that Asia got after leaving Dance Moms.
Right. A child who you have not met, but you
We
will
haven't met her
meet.
yet. A few episodes away.
Oh.
Yeah, true. Very true.
amazing. Yeah. Anthony, he seems like he's being like a little tough on the kids, but he's not like straight up talking shit to them like Abby does.
Yeah,
It's
true.
nothing compared to that.
No.
He's just like, come on, point your foot like this. Come on,
Yeah.
I know you can do it. Like,
Yeah.
point your foot.
Be quick. Be
He's
quick.
like, yeah, if you're
Yeah.
flexing your toes, it looks bad. Just point your foot. And like, so it's very blunt, but it's not like
Kathy's like, you're being so
harmful. Well,
mean.
she didn't even
I
say
know,
that.
she's not helping.
She walked as he's doing this. She walks up and just grabs a kid's face, whatever kid, and kisses him on the cheek, which weird, first of all. And then second of all, he's just like, the hell was that?
Yeah. Are you
Like,
fucking
He
kidding?
says,
He's like-
he says you're treating them like babies.
Well, he says he's like, these are boys. Don't
Yeah.
baby them like girls,
Like
whatever. Which like,
girls.
okay,
Okay.
Anthony.
Yeah, come
whatever.
on, dude.
But he is, I think, appropriately disciplining and appropriately coaching, whereas Abby's a dick and Kathy's an idiot.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can leave the gender out of it. How you're
Yeah.
how you're coaching the kids is fine. It has to be consistent though. You can't
Yeah.
have one person babying them and one person kind of like being blunt and hard nosed.
Right, right, right.
You
That doesn't
can't
work.
good cop, bad cop
Exactly.
choreography. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
It's too confusing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like within seconds of each other. That's not how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. He has to like take a step away. Jalen's dad has to go get him from like a supply closet and be like, yo, dude, everything's chill. And he's like,
Which
you're
is
right. And
so
he goes back.
weird. Because
Yes.
I look at that scene and I'm like, this is a guy who works in Hollywood, works on like actual like professional dancers and
Yeah.
stuff, and just some random guy whose kid happens to be on this show has to go and talk him down.
Well, that same dad had offered a change in choreography. Anthony is like, you have to flip and at the same time do like
Ugh.
throw the thing in the air. And the dad's like, well,
What if you
instead
did
you can just
this?
do
Yeah.
this. And Anthony's like, I'll be over here
I'll
fucking
go fuck
myself.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen's dad is a very weird character when he's on the show.
Yeah.
And you can tell that like the moms on the ALDC team are like almost scared of him, which is so
Yeah.
weird
They mention
because
it.
they love
Yeah.
Gino's dad. They get along great with him.
Right. It's
But,
Jalen's
like-
dad specifically that they're like, it brings a very different energy.
It's a
stresses all of us
very,
out.
you know,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I think it's the masculine energy that
I
he
think it
brings
is
that's
too.
so
You're
off-putting
like,
to
whoa,
everyone.
whoa.
He-
That's
Yeah.
a lot in this space.
Because he's
several-
very much like tough guy.
Yeah. My
several
son,
episodes
be my
ago.
son.
Yeah, several episodes ago. Wait, I actually
My
think
boy.
I mentioned this at one point that like he's cheering for like he's treating them like as they're about to go out and dance as being like we're getting ready for a football game, like we're gonna dominate, we're gonna hands in, we're gonna 1, 2, 3 go team or whatever, and he's very like dad bro about it. And I was like, oh, it's great that you're supporting your child.
But maybe
It
You're
is, and
doing
doing
it very-
dance, great.
You're doing it very much in a way that like makes sense for you and the things that you like. Maybe meet him where he is. Meet him, the child, in the way
Yeah.
that he wants to be supported.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
so-
the wrong room for that energy. That energy belongs in a room. It's just not this one.
It's
Not
a
this
football
one.
locker room. It is
Yeah,
not a dance
exactly.
green room.
Exactly. We get a little bit of Kendall solo. Abby's like emphasizing, she's like, "Just with that face," and then like that's kind of it, basically. Nia and Kendall are then in the den running through their little facial expressions. It's so cute. All the girls like
cute.
kind of clump up. It's adorable. Just
so
like
fun to see them be friends.
It was
you know,
great.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it too.
it's so
because
sweet.
they are all best friends, and the show like
Yeah.
wants you to forget that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
Abby
true.
certainly does.
Yeah, Abby
Yeah,
denies that. She's
exactly.
like, they're not friends. They all hate each other and they love me.
Yep.
Kathy has done some like updates to the outside of her building. She has Kathy. No one is doing it like Kathy Nesbitt Stein.
Dude,
So
I
true.
Kathy
fucking
Nesbitt
believe it.
Stein has a city councilman come out for the grand ribbon cutting of a building that is already open for business, but got some fresh coats of paint. And he has a plaque
He has
for
a
her that
fucking
says to
plaque.
commemorate the time that you beat the Abby Lee Dance Company. And she's like, thank you. And she cuts that ribbon and she's like,
And you know what? I
This
fully
was-
believe production had nothing to do with that. And she said,
Oh.
I have an idea.
Yes, I have no reason to believe that production had anything to do with that moment. That was all
Mhm.
Kathy.
I had to
I
go
love
back.
her.
I went back and watched the scene again because I was like, I had to have missed something, or this is a joke.
No,
A city
No,
councilman presented her with a plaque to commemorate the time you beat Abby Lee Mel. A fucking plaque.
Amazing.
I hope.
But
she
you know
still
what my
has that.
favorite part of the scene is?
What?
Is when all the kids like they're standing there for the ribbon cutting and they go, Vivi, do the dance.
Yeah,
And she does this weird little like
like
I can only explain it as like
she's riding a horse and doing this.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
And then
weird.
everyone else starts doing it too. And I'm like, that has to be some inside joke that these
Yeah.
kids had that
Yeah.
just somehow made it on national television. And
It's
that-
weird.
That's a moment that I look at and I say, I don't get it. And I'm so happy for them.
Yeah,
That
it's
looks
not for
so
me to
fun.
understand. You know,
It's not
just
for
not
me.
for me to understand.
There
Yeah.
have been a lot of bizarre scenes in this show. I think this was the most for me in terms of
I
like,
love her.
why is this happening? What? Hello.
The thumb is back.
It's back.
That's the first time it's
The
happened to me.
goddamn
I think.
thumb. Anyway, I love that moment. I hope Kathy still has that plaque. It is very
I
important to
am
me.
certain
Oh,
that
yeah.
she does.
I love it. Okay, so then let's see. We get Maddie's solo rehearsal. Holly is upstairs and the moms are given like they see pictures of the ribbon cutting and they are giggling
Yeah.
about this. And Holly says she thinks she is so high class because she painted her building. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yup.
slay. Hang on, let me try to do this again.
I got it. My arms are longer. You keep talking.
Anyway, it's amazing the way that they're just like giggling about like, oh, like she's such an idiot, like whatever.
Mhm.
And then we get Kathy and Viv at an alterations place. And this is like the moment where it's like, okay, let's talk about, oh no, wait,
This is a costume montage.
I had this backwards. Earlier,
Yeah.
she was doing this lesson. Okay, we can talk about that now then. Earlier, she had a moment where she was like giving Vivi like a private lesson. And that was really sweet. And like,
Yes.
like, like sit into your derriere and like, tighten your core and like all these things. And this is the part where there's where they're at the alterations place and they're trying on costumes and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's
The
nothing, but it's
scene
cute.
with the little private lesson, there's a photo of me in dance class when I'm 3 years old, and I'm wearing like the exact same thing Vivi's wearing in that
Aw,
scene. I
so
was watching it and I
cute.
texted my mom and I was like, that photo that sat on your desk 7 years ago downstairs,
it?
where is it?
I will say this. So about the private lesson, like Kathy actually is like coaching her, which is
Yes.
awesome. Like she's giving her legitimate, and she's even showing her, like she's
Yeah.
mirroring like Vivi, and is saying like you know releve, tighten your, what does she say?
Your like core, your derriere.
Derriere,
Yeah.
Your
And
butt.
so all that is awesome. And then the montage of the costume trying on and whatnot, like it literally is like a 80s and 90s sitcom. Like she comes out, and there's a
Yeah.
reaction,
Yeah.
then she comes out and there's a reaction, there's music and stuff. But Kathy says, "Oh, do you think he would look like he's from Wall Street?" And she's like, "Do you know what Wall Street is?" No.
No.
Does he
No.
look like Wall Street? Yeah. Do you know what
Yeah.
Wall Street is? No.
No.
And I love moments like that because kids do that all the time.
Oh yeah.
They're just like, yeah. It's like, do you know what I mean?
No.
No. Like,
No.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
I
this like
love it.
partner in crime dynamic of like Kathy, the Disney villain, and her sidekick. And it is,
Her
there are
kind of
times it's
clueless
very
sidekick.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very sweet. I like it. Okay, now we get the costumes at Abby Lee Dance Company.
Oh,
We get
the
the
duets.
costumes for Chloe and Paige. We don't have to spend a ton of time talking about this. It is
It's so bad, and I just feel
Yeah.
like even when Abby takes it out of the bag, she looks apprehensive about it.
yeah. She's like,
And then
"Oh,
they put him
okay."
on, and she's like, "Oh my god, you look amazing." But when she
Yeah.
first pulls that stuff out of the bag, she's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. Yeah. I have in my notes in all caps, whoa, oh my God, this is so bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Christy says, "Let's just pretend they're swimsuits."
Yeah.
Oh.
Ugh.
They
And
said
I
we're not
hate-
arguing about this. This episode's about Nia.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hate that they're in that spot, but they really
Yeah.
are just like, they've been asking, they've been asking for this duet for so long. We have to just let it rock.
Yeah,
So
jump
that
through
they can
every
have what
hoop.
they want. And it is so disappointing that
Yeah.
the moms are that Abby has put the moms in a position where they feel like this is what they have to do
Yeah.
for the benefit of their daughter. Like that's sad to me. I hate
Yes.
that.
Absolutely.
Jalen, we get cut back to Ohio. Jalen is working on his solo. He's really stressed because he has these tearaway costume pieces that he can't
3 different
tear away
costumes.
fast enough.
I
Yeah.
know. That's so stressful. He's so little.
It's so much. He gets really flustered at one point. It's like the dad's offering opinions no one asked for again. It's not great. We cut back to Paige and Chloe doing their duet again. And it's just really frustrating because Paige is told that she's not as good as Chloe. Chloe has backslid to where Paige is, and Paige is so bad because Kelly doesn't like Abby.
Correct.
And it's just this like soup. It's just like
It's
fucked up jumbled
everyone's
soup.
fault except Abby's.
Correct. Correct. She'll
Mhm.
always come out unscathed.
Yes.
Truly.
Yeah.
And the moms are all in agreement. Like the music is bad and the costumes, like this is not the tea.
Yeah, Christy
Yeah.
says the costumes are skimpy, the music is racy, but we have to make the best of it for our girls.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. I hate it.
Bummer.
It's just so gross.
Yeah. We cut back to Ohio. All of the
Flip flop,
girls-
flip flop, flip
Yeah,
flop.
we're just like ping ponging
Very-
back and forth.
There's a commercial thrown in right here too.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah, but then it just picks right back up.
Yeah, we're back in Ohio now. All of the girls in the Candy Apple Dance Company have been corralled together to watch the boys because
Mhm.
they like want to put the pressure on the boys to make like you have an audience now, be super good. All these little girls are watching you and giggling at you, and they get really flustered. And at
Yeah.
one point, Jalen misses his cue, probably because of the environmental factor of all of the girls, his dad, this new choreographer, being on television, being a child. All of these things are just too much for him. He misses his cue and he starts crying. And it really hurts my heart. It makes me really sad.
I
And
know.
Anthony like yells at him a little bit, like kind of in front of everyone. He like takes him just to the other side of the room, but like you can hear what he's saying, and then he's getting on to him, and then he says, "I only yell because I care."
No, sir.
Straight out of the Abby Lee Miller
No,
playbook.
sir. We don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate
that
that.
his dad in his talking head notes that he's really unhappy.
Yeah.
Also, like, you know, I've been performing like the majority of my life in like music and in sports and stuff. Dude, if you brought in, like, especially when Jalen's what, like 10 or whatever he is,
Not even.
if you brought in a room full of girls to like watch me, dude, I would have crumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely
right?
crumbled.
Yeah. If you had to do something in a room full of girls now, you would crumble. And you're what, like 45 now? You would immediately crumble already. I had to have one. I had to have one age joke. I hadn't
That's
had
fair.
one yet. You made one for me earlier, and that fucking sucked. So I had to have one.
Steal your thunder.
Fuck off. Anyway, back to the Abby Lee Dance Company. Mackenzie's doing a little bit of makeup. Abby tosses out the idea that like Mackenzie is now the official makeup artist of the Abby Lee Dance Company, and she's like, "You're gonna do all the girls' makeup for the performance." And the girls are like, "The fuck, she's not."
Yeah.
She's like 6. She's not touching this mug. No,
Yeah.
ma'am. It's
was-
very funny.
I thought it was excellent because like I couldn't quite tell. There's probably a little bit of both where like I can't tell if Abby's like trying to be shitty and like expose Mackenzie for not being good at it or whatever, or she's like, hey, this is a thing you're passionate about and I want to foster that.
Right.
It is
so
rare
weird.
that I ever assume that Abby is doing the good
Mm.
thing,
Yeah.
but there's at least a chance. Maybe it's both. Porque no los
Yeah.
dos.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
One thing that always stands out to me about this scene is that, like, you know, they're all having fun in the den, they're doing their makeup, and then when Abby walks in, they all freeze.
Oh yeah, they do.
And because Abby's like, "What are you
Yes.
guys doing?" And they're like, "Nothing." And she's like,
Nothing.
"No, really? Like, what are you guys doing?" And they're like, we're doing makeup." And
And
she's
it's
like, "Oh,
"Why
there's
is that
nothing
bad?"
wrong
Yeah,
with
that's
that."
fun.
Like-
Do mine.
But it's like they definitely got yelled at for that last week.
Oh,
or
yeah.
some shit.
Or
like,
Oh
Excuse
yeah,
me,
I'm
or
sweating.
something similar. Like anytime
Yeah.
Abby enters the room and they're not like actively practicing or
Yeah.
stretching or whatever.
Yeah.
they're
Crying.
horrible.
Yeah, or even if they are crying, she's yelling at them anyway.
Yeah, save
Yeah.
your tears for the pillow.
Yeah, for real.
mhm.
We get just like a blip of the last minute group rehearsal before we get on the bus. And Abby says, "Are you guys going to change history on the stage?" All right. Okay, relax a little. Relax. It's not that
It's
serious.
So
Like,
funny.
Maybe
It's
they
not
will.
that serious, but at the same time, I hate to say it, there's a lot of 20-something people out there who, when they hear Rosa Parks, they think of Kendall Vertes.
you know what? Fair enough. It's true. Weirdly, she is the one that I associate. I thought it was the Mandela effect. I was like, oh, this is the episode where Kendall gets to be Rosa Parks.
No, but
I was
everyone
like, oh, wait,
associates it with
Mia
her.
gets it. But I
Yeah.
fully was like, in my brain, it's like Kendall, that association was already linked up for me.
When
I
I
just didn't
think
get
of
it.
Rosa Parks, I think of the rap duo Outkast.
Why?
Rosa
Why?
Parks is a song of theirs.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
really good.
Oh,
Oh,
love
add
that.
to don't add it to the pyramid bops. I'm pretty sure it's not appropriate. But listener and viewer,
But there you
the
go.
song Rosa Parks by Outkast is actually quite good.
Slay.
Good
Word.
to know.
Okay, we're on the bus. We are getting ready to go to the competition. Abby's telling the girls, like, Kathy can't win, blah, 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 whatever.
With her sunglasses on, she looks so
Yes.
crazy.
Those big old bug eyes. She's like, girls. And she's got those big old
They-
sunglasses on. I'm like,
She took them
I
off.
will not lose to Kathy.
Yeah, she took them off 2 seconds later, but she started. It was like a jump scare for me. I was like, ah! Oh,
It's
God.
hilarious.
I loved it. She's like, yeah, Kathy can't win. Fuck Kathy. All my homies hate Kathy.
The correct
Holly,
quote.
yeah. Holly's like, Nia, come up here and tell everyone what you learned about Rosa Parks. She gets into that overhead compartment, bitch. She opens that door. She whips out a poster
Yep.
that Nia has made. And she's like, this is what I learned about Rosa Parks. And she serves history to these moms. It's
That
everything.
is dramaturgy in action. She's doing dramaturgical research on a performance that she's
Yes.
a part of, and I ate it up.
And
Yes,
Holly
yes.
even says, like,
Dramaturgy.
yeah, she's happy for the opportunity to have Nia learn. She said the same thing actually about don't ask, just tell.
Oh,
about, like she
Yeah.
did. She said, I'm happy that like we're being kind of forced to have these conversations. Same
Yeah.
with
Talk
when
about gay
Angela
stuff.
was there and she talked about
Gay
like,
stuff.
yeah, drag shows and everything.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
the
it
same
is
thing. So
good.
Holly very much is like utilizing these opportunities.
She's an educator.
Yeah, well, and
Absolutely.
even though Abby is very clunkily and awkwardly throwing them headfirst into them,
against their will.
Yeah, but Holly is very much like the optimist and finding opportunities to learn. So all that is great. And Nia slayed.
It's really
Yes.
cute. But don't worry, Jill bought some fuck ass jewelry for Abby.
Of course.
She's like, I saw this and I thought of you. And everyone's
Whatever.
like, ew.
Jesus. Her groveling is pathetic.
Even
It's
Abby's
so
like, girl, this is a
funny.
lot. And she's like, no, I really thought of you. And Abby's like, oh, thanks. Whatever. Holly is rolling her eyes and she's like, this is so stupid. It's like, my child is rewriting history and you're like, here's a necklace. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. We roll up to the competition and it is like, you really would have thought it was like, I don't know, like the beginning of like an era ending war or something.
It was a
like that.
heavyweight
Like,
fight.
yeah, literally.
Both
They're
them
like,
with their hoods up,
ding,
rolling
ding,
up, like
bitch. Like they're like, Mike Tyson massaging their shoulders in the corner. Yeah, crazy.
holding a boombox and like their country's
And the
flag
belt
behind
yeah.
them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, pretty much. And Kathy's at the registration. She's like, Kathy, she's like, the candy apples. And then we get Abby coming off the bus, and the music shift is comically hilarious, comically intense, right?
The editing is so good.
It's everything. And Kathy makes a not great comment about feeling the earth shake because of Abby.
Yeah,
like,
classic.
that sucks. But then Kathy sees Abby. She reaches out to touch Abby. Abby turns and looks at her and she goes, oh no.
Don't touch me.
She goes, don't touch me. I'm like, bitch, you were touching her first. And then she's like, I have bodyguards.
Yeah.
Bodyguards.
He brought bodyguards.
Balding men, and they're like, huh? And they don't know what's going on.
Kathy
Bodyguards.
grabs one of them and brings them in between
Here.
her and Abby and says, oh, I'm glad that you guys are here. You never know when water is going to fly at me or like.
How
The
are
whole
bodyguards gonna
water
defend you
fight.
from water? What do you mean? If someone's got water, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Christy refers to them as rent-a-cops,
Yeah.
which is hilarious to me.
I mean,
And she's like, that's the only way she can get men to hang out with her. She either rents them or she puts them on her team. I'm like,
So funny.
damn, she ate that up a little bit.
Kathy just pulling out all the stops in this episode.
yeah, she was on her clown shit as well. She and Jill both, man.
Yeah.
Christy also, after she says the comment about getting men to hang out with Kathy, she says in a talking head that like she lists off all the ways that Kathy has physically assaulted members of their group. And she's like, we're the ones that need the bodyguard. She has come after it. She hit Abby with a purse.
Yeah.
She was swinging. It's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So they get into the green room and Abby's like, Holly, go change your clothes.
Yeah, what the
Your
fuck are
outfit
you
fucking
wearing?
sucks.
God.
She's like, okay. Abby gives Holly an outfit. Holly's like, I'm gonna go put on my costume, I guess, because just like all the other kids.
The outfit Abby bought earlier.
Yes,
Well,
that
I
out
would-
yes.
I would just like to point out that Abby looked phenomenal before she changed. She had like red and
You mean
black
Holly?
on. What did I say?
You said
Holly. Yeah, Holly was
Yeah.
crushing it.
Yeah,
Red
she
and
looked
black.
great.
She looked great.
She was great all the time.
Again, timeless and elegant. Looked
Ugh.
great.
So true. She goes and changes clothes. Listen, hear me out. That outfit, she ate that up. That outfit
She
looks
did.
live
But I'd like
for
to point out
2013.
that Abby made this whole thing about, Holly, you don't know how to dress for your body, and then she puts her in animal print. What's up with that?
An animal print
Shawl.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like the turtleneck is very 2013. I think she
Yes.
looks, the thumbs back. I think she looks very cute. The 2013 of it
Yes.
all is like very much there. You know what era we're in.
I wore a turtleneck yesterday.
But I thought you did you wear a white turtleneck under your Preds jersey?
Not under my Preds jersey. Well, I went to the Commanders Cowboys game.
Oh, you love that white turtleneck under a
I do.
jersey.
I
It
have
is
two of them.
slay. It looks really good on you and on Holly. But
Man,
she looks,
Holly's just like
Ooh,
me for real.
it really is. She looks really cute, and the moms are like, oh, yeah. And it's like this is the end of that like saga and the journey of Holly not being able to dress herself allegedly.
Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
cute. Mackenzie is starting to do everyone's makeup again. People are freaking
Hilarious.
out. They're like, she's like, please don't touch my face. And Jill is like, oh, Jill, or Abby's like, Jill, are you changing some of the makeup that Mackenzie did? And she's like, yeah, I'm wiping off a little bit of the lipstick that got on Kendall's
Oh,
nose.
She's such a bitch.
Yeah, she's
So
like, actually,
mean.
yeah, I am. And what about it?
Jill is like such a perfectionist. She was hovering over Mackenzie as
She's a
she
little
was doing
Q-tip.
it. Like,
Just like,
She also didn't like that Kendall was the first one to have makeup put on her.
True.
So like she's like the guinea pig basically, while Mackenzie like finds her groove.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so she's like, no, she's gonna fuck some shit up
She
on my
can't do
daughter.
it, yeah.
No.
Yeah. The group gets ready. They're leaving. They pass Kathy in the hallway for this moment of orchestrated tension. It's great. Kendall is the first performer. The song that
I have the same thing written down. It's so bad.
It is. I laughed out loud. The song is so cheesy and stupid and bad and just poorly done that I like cackled. I thought this song was hilarious.
It's like really bad hyper pop. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Oh yeah. Outside of the song, she does great. Choreography looks great. Her costume's cute. All these things. Her face was better than normal. Whatever. The song really took me out of my body, but everything else was great. Everything else was great. Maddie goes next. Melissa's a little nervy because of course she is, because she's always stressed when it comes to Maddie dancing. And she's like, Maddie hasn't won in a long time.
So being like, a handful of weeks.
Yeah. She's like, I'm a little nervous, whatever. Melissa sees Maddie get ready and she looks at Maddie on the stage and she goes, I love you. And I'm like, bitch, you're mouthing. That's creepy. She can't hear you. Who's that for? You know what I mean? Who's that for? But whatever. Hot damn, that kid is good.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like every once in a while, I just get these moments of really realizing that again. And this was one of them.
Yeah.
In my notes, I wrote, Maddie is just like crazy good.
She's just so good.
Yeah.
I will say, however, she's done, this is the solo that she competed outside of the show. So she didn't like learn it this week. It's called Berlin outside of the show.
Yeah.
And in the show, it's called Breaking Down That Wall. So it's about the Berlin Wall.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Like Maddie knows what the fucking Berlin Wall is.
Yeah, right. It's 2013.
Yeah, too many historical things happening here. It's 2013. Let's maybe chill out a little bit.
Abby says that Maddie has the makings of a star and performs like a seasoned pro. Accurate.
She does.
It's true. She still does. Melissa is just sobbing, just like doing her thing. The waterworks, they get done. I swear to fuck. Maddie gets done. She leaves. Melissa and Abby look at each other and I'm like, are they about to kiss? They are so just like you and me right here in this moment. I was like, they're literally gonna kiss.
They're gonna kiss.
It's so much like weird sexual tension, and they like kind of hugged and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this. I don't like this. Get it off my screen. I don't like what's happening here. This is a weird dynamic.
They also showed the entire dances in this episode, which they never do. So it's very weird.
The 2 hours, some of that watch time is coming from the full dances, I think.
I skipped through the entire duo. I skipped through about half of both of the solos because I was like, and I have a note in here that Kendall's solo was over a minute of screen time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, 10 seconds.
Still
10 seconds,
going.
10 seconds, still going. Jeez.
Yeah. We get Jalen solo. He
poor guy
stumbles through these costumes. That man is set up to fail.
Yeah.
He's doing way too much choreography. He's changing the costumes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. And at one point he fucks up a costume change and he knows he did. And it kind of fucks up with the rest of his routine. And then he's holding a piece of his shirt in that he's like pulled off in his hands as he's leaving, and he throws it on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like
the drama.
I know. He is pissed. My man is pissed.
He's perfect for reality TV.
True.
I will say they like started the solo and then they plopped a commercial down in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah, it's because he like struggles to pull, and it's like, oh, he's gonna fuck it up. Commercial.
The dramatic
comes back and he's like, he's
so
still
weird.
fucking it up. Yeah, it is very. The editing's strange.
We often talk about editing choices in this show.
Yeah,
and this was one of them.
Yeah, that was definitely a choice that was made. It was weird. He's like storming out into the hallway. He's like 4 feet tall, pissed, like the most pissed you've ever seen a little boy child in his life. And his dad, and also
it's Gino's dad.
It's Gino's dad, right? Gino's dad is like, no, you did so good. I'm like, who's this man?
Yeah.
He's like, you did so good. You did so good. His dad finally catches up to him and he's like, I know you're upset. You did great. And Jalen's like, no, I'm mad. I want to do good. And he's like, I know you did great. And it's frustrating to hear children be so upset
I know.
and to articulate their feeling, and an adult to say, no, don't feel that. It's like,
yeah.
can you listen to him maybe a little when he says that he's
Yeah.
upset? Can you listen and say like, oh, like, if you feel like you didn't do well, like, what do you think? Like, why do you feel that way? Based on what?
Mhm.
Well, based on the fact that the judges could tell that I messed up a costume change. Okay, how do you know that the judges could tell that? You may be afraid that they could tell that, but you don't know. Maybe they
You
don't
don't know
know.
because they don't know the routine.
Exactly. But to just like
Well,
cut him
he-
off at the pass is
Well, he
annoying.
kind of
Yeah.
said that though. He was like, "Well, they don't know that you like were off on the costume change or
Yeah.
whatever." And I don't know. I don't know that I had a huge problem with how his dad dealt with it. I thought it was perfectly fine. He's like, that wasn't good enough to win. And his dad was like, I thought you did great.
Whatever.
Compared
It's
to what would
20.
have happened to Abby's kids, it was great.
Back to the green room. Let's see. We're back to the ALDC green room.
Oh, Abby's little pep talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what it is. She like is like, Kendall and Maddie, you slayed, like whatever. And then she's like, she talks to Paige and Chloe at this point, right? Am I tracking with the same thing you are?
Yes.
something else?
Yes, the duet.
Yeah. And then we see the duet, and we don't have to talk about it, but we see it, and it's fine, and it's done, and it's great. Okay.
And now we can move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, those poor girls.
And it's on TV forever.
Mhm.
Kathy is walking through the hall with the dads and the bodyguards in this like totally not staged, very authentic moment where they pass the Abbey Lee Dance Company. And
Yeah.
Kathy goes, if I were Jill, I would be so tired of my kid falling short of Maddie.
It's so staged. You can
Jill. I mean,
almost see
Kathy.
it's like Kathy's little posse is like halted at the beginning of the hall. Recording starts and then they start walking. It's one of those where it's just like it's so poorly done and poorly edited,
stupid,
obviously set up.
We get some great one-liners.
Yeah.
Christy says maybe if we throw a stick, she'll run away.
And the mom, that like tripped Kathy up.
Yeah, and
like the
Kath-
mom's laughing. She's like, "What? I even," and then she keeps going
Because she
She's
knows
like,
it's
"Oh,
good
shit,
too."
you got me."
She busts out with the well, at least I didn't, what is it? I didn't fall down the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down or something. I'm like, Kathy, that was bubbling.
The moms also
love it.
did not care at all.
They were like, whatever,
They're like,
girl.
whatever.
Whatever.
Let's see. We go back and forth, I almost said bing bong, ping pong, ping ponging back and forth between, green room for this group, green room for the next one, blah, 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 whatever. We're about to get ready to go. We're walking to the stage. Anthony is like giving a pep talk to the boys in the hallway, and it's like, let's change the world or something stupid. Grow together. I don't fucking know. Candy Apples goes first. Jalen is on stage for like maybe 10 seconds.
Hold on.
He doesn't do much.
He's gone.
The quote, hang on. The quote that he said was that Anthony said, he said, he was quoting someone else, but he said, we have nothing to prove, only to share. I like that. He's
That
like,
is
don't
nice.
dance.
Okay.
Don't dance to like prove something wrong. Dance to share your art with others.
I don't know.
I liked it.
Whatever. It's a moderate slay. I'll let him have it.
Well, he didn't say
It's also, he didn't say
He
it.
was
He's
quoting
he's
someone else.
pulling
Yeah.
it for
I liked
someone
it,
else.
though.
Yeah.
I
But
thought
it was like a crowd favorite. The crowd ate up that
The
dance.
dance. Oh my God. They were, and it is the messiest,
Yeah,
most
it was bad.
confusing piece of art I've
Yes.
ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's not great.
crazy. There's so much shit going on. It's like, it's insane to me. And then conversely, we get the Abbey Lee Dance Companies, and it is clean. The
Yes.
narrative is trackable. You know what's going on. It's like, this is the established character. We have bus seat props. There is a great moment where Nia crouches down and Maddie walks on her back and steps over her. Like, the narrative is crisp and clean
the
and
symbolism was
obvious.
good.
Yeah, Abby can
only-
do well when she tries.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
The only real hiccup is Brooke for the last 5 seconds, kind of
If
not knowing what's going on, but like, it's nothing.
She says she just like completely blacked out, forgot she was on stage, like she
Yeah.
did a
She's
trick,
13.
came out of the trick and was like, where am I going?
Oh,
And that
gosh,
was
yeah.
also finals week for her that week. So she
Oh,
was doing all of this stuff at the studio while also like studying for finals.
sweet baby. Too
So,
much
I
going on in my
know.
brain.
I have to note the music for this was also actually kind of dope.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I couldn't stand it.
I
One
liked
bus
it a lot.
leads to another bus, leads to another dream, leads to like I imagine Abby, they've got a catalog of songs that they bought that they're allowed to use on the show. And I imagine Abby at night, she sits there and she flips through it and she heard them say bus and dream in the song and she went, "This is a Rosa
Because
Parks
I was
number."
barely even listening to the lyrics. I just mean like the composition.
I
of
was
the
gonna
song
say,
was
yeah,
above.
if I didn't
Yeah.
have the subtitles on, I would have been like, oh, that's nice. But I had the subtitles on, I was like, that's goofy.
Don't watch with the subtitles.
But
That's not
also
bad.
the pep talk that Abby gives before they go on stage, she says to them in the green room, "We don't have segregation anymore."
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah.
And but
But
there are winners and there are losers.
Yeah.
and Holly's
What
face
a
is like,
thing to say.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
a thing to say.
I
And
thought
they
that was
do
amazing.
I was gonna say they do a segregation dance in season 7, but it feels weird to say it like that. They do a dance
like
about
they're summoning it,
segregation.
like a rain dance. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
They do
Yeah.
a dance about segregation in like season 7, and they have way more of a conversation about like
God.
segregation in the United States and everything. And like Holly and this other mom who's black are like explaining to Jill and the other moms that like there are many places in America that are still segregated. And Jill
Yeah.
is like, actually that's illegal and I don't believe you.
I'm like,
That's
okay.
yeah,
so
suburban
it's-
white mom in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The motivational speech, if you can call it that, about segregation, and it's this is when it's flashing back and forth between the studios, and Anthony says you have nothing to prove, only to share, and then it cuts immediately to Abby saying something along the lines of "Don't be the kid that screws this up," which is just like a perfect. Like there's two different types.
Yeah.
It's the duality of tough teachers.
Yeah.
There's one that actually wants to like motivate you and get you, and then Abby's just like, if you mess this up, I'll fucking kill you.
And
Yeah.
also you're ugly.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I hate your mom.
Yeah. Okay, we get to the awards. We get solo awards. My man Jalen, 6th.
6th. Top
And
10.
Kathy says that the lesson he learned is never let him see you sweat, which fair enough.
Yeah.
That is at the bottom of the list of things that went wrong with that dance, but
Yes.
that was something to be learned, I suppose.
Yeah.
To be fair, if I was judging that dance and I saw that kid throw like frustratedly his thing off on
Yep.
the stage before he
Out.
walked off, I don't think I would like that.
I'd be pretty pissed.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing he can control the most.
Yes.
Is the
Is like
end,
his
but, like,
level of professionalism, and
Yeah.
it's still like, hey, just stick with it, man. Even if you mess up, that's okay.
But everything else was not his fault.
Right. Complex.
It was the only thing that
choreography,
was.
the costume fucking up might
Yeah.
not have been his fault. Like, but hey, you can control how you if
Your
you throw your
attitude.
costume down, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's like
Um,
9, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
also-
also whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's top 10. So to anyone who's not Abby, that's still a great win.
Yeah,
That's
still
still a
fine.
win. Yeah.
Still good.
Kendall gets 2nd, and Maddie gets 1st.
Ideal.
Yes.
Perfect.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
perf. That is the ideal scenario. Maddie gives Kendall a little kiss on the cheek. It's
So cute.
so cute and so sweet.
So
I love
cute.
it. We get the duet awards. Shockingly and regrettably, this duet is rewarded, and they get 1st. And I know the content is literally borderline illegal, but their like sense of accomplishment in
Yeah.
winning, I teared up a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
and
Seeing
they're
them hug each
best
other, I was like,
friends.
yeah, oh,
And Paige
Ugh.
gets to actually
Ugh.
be a part of something that wins that's not a group.
yeah.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
and how often does that
A
happen?
direct hand in
Fuck.
that being 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They're
thought-
best friends
it's
and they
cute.
always wanted to dance together, so it is
Yeah.
nice that they got to have this. This is the only duet that they have before
Ugh.
they leave, because the next duet Paige and Chloe have is the episode The Highlands Leave.
Oh, that makes me so
So
So that one
sad.
doesn't go
Spoiler
too
alert.
well.
It's not a spoiler alert. The show's 10 years old. It's not a
I
spoiler.
don't know anything.
Oh, well,
I'm not looking shit up. I'm finding these things
don't
out
worry. You'll
as I
forget.
watch.
You'll forget that happens before we get to that episode. Don't worry.
Forget
Don't
what
flatter
happens.
yourself. Don't
Yeah,
flatter
yeah.
yourself. And then
We
we
got
get
a
to
ways.
we get to the group awards. Candy Apple style sucks shit, and it gets 2nd. Those idiots. Just kidding. It does get second though.
The words of
And-
Michael Jordan. Fuck them kids.
Yeah, literally. And the ALDC gets first.
Yay.
Let's fucking go. That's very exciting to me
It
personally.
is.
Holly's like, listen, I had some concerns about Abby's ability to like write out a narrative about something that's this full of like gravity and like emotion and things. But she's like, it was good. And she mentions that moment that I talked about earlier of Maddie stepping over Nia. She was like, that was really well thought out.
Perfect.
It was really, really
Well,
good.
she mentions that there have been several times in the past with Abby trying to tell a story that she'll have her initial idea and then it'll kind of like warp into like some other thing.
Yeah.
And she struggles to like just stick to the message. And
Yeah.
she said that Abby really stuck to it this time and was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the immigration dance she did?
Yeah.
Home,
Yeah.
Where they were immigrating home on the Titanic.
And
to
Holly goes,
Staten Island.
how do you immigrate home?
Yeah. Yep. She
Yeah,
said
it
they're
was
going to
great.
Staten Island, not Ellis Island.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
So funny. So the Abby Lee Dance Company is feeling real good about itself.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Clean
And
sweep.
they rally the mobs and like, let's go start a fight. And they go into Kathy's green room and they start a
They
fight.
literally got each other. They like riled each other up. Like, hey,
Let's go.
they're like, no, they're like, hey, do you want to do that? I only want to go if everyone else is going.
Well, they
Like,
have to.
are we all doing it? Yeah, they're like trying to make plans and no one wants to do it. And they're like,
Yeah.
are we doing? Okay, I guess we'll do it.
Yeah, this is
They're like,
literally-
production's making us.
Yeah,
let's,
we have
let's
to
hype each other
go.
up.
This is the conversation I have with my friends anytime any of us wants to go out. I'm like, I don't want to go, but if we're all going, I'll go if we're all going. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, you always say you want to go, so let's go. And it's like, okay, well, if you're
Fine.
going, I'll go. I'll go. You know?
Yeah.
I'll go. It's
great.
fine.
They joke about bringing along bottles of water.
Yeah, like maybe we should bring water. Fuck with her a little
Yeah.
bit. Hilarious. Yeah, they just go in and they start some shit. What's his face? Jalen's dad gets really combative with Kelly specifically.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, your daughter's
Yes.
not well rounded, and it's
Well,
like, whoa.
Ellie
okay.
went after him first to be
She
fair.
true,
did, which
true,
is
true.
very out of character for Kelly. Like, she
Yeah.
normally
True.
doesn't. She's not normally one to start that
Right.
about someone else's kid. So
Right.
it's very weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
It is. And then they like kind of have a back and forth and then they fuck off. It's like there's
Yeah,
no
it's like,
fight,
whatever.
there's no like beating each other up, there's no drama. They just like spew some bullshit at each other and then they like leave, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Abby walks into the green room and they're all freaking out and screaming. And honestly, I am a little bit too. I'm like high on that feeling too of like, yeah, fuck the candy apples. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like intoxicating. And Abby's like so proud of the girls. And she like tells Nia that Rosa Parks would be proud of her. I'm
Which
like,
is an
okay,
insane thing to say.
sure, whatever.
So funny.
And then Abby's like, also, I want to take a second and give myself a pat on the back for these bomb ass costumes. I
Ugh,
really ate that
Abby.
up. Like
Whatever.
swag. Who cares?
Yeah.
No one, not me. I'm over it.
Abby brings up the group dance and then like mentions Brooke forgetting her dance. And I was like, oh, she's just in this moment of joy. She's about to tear Brooke a new one and then laughed about it.
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah.
Brooke was scared
Brooke's,
when she
like,
brought it up.
Brooke also starts
She
giggling.
laughed
Yes,
it off
be-
too.
Yeah.
Well, yes, because Abby is just like kind of like chuckling about it. She's like, yeah, we probably should.
Standing at the bus stop, waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's like making light of it and everything. And Brooke's like, oh, we can laugh about this. Good. I thought it was funny too. Great.
Yeah.
Glad we're
I
on the
know
same page.
everyone was it was a very light-hearted ending to the
Yes, I
episode, which
love
we
it.
don't normally get.
Yeah. I
This
loved it.
episode went so much better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
It was like the dance was a sleigh. They won everything.
Yeah.
Like things went pretty well. There
Yeah.
weren't any like groundbreaking, heartbreaking fights or anything like that.
No.
Like, and then Abby made a fun little comment to like the most hated child. Well, actually, she hates Paige more, but
Yeah.
her second most hated child, and it was like fun and
Yeah.
fun and stuff.
This episode with it being Rosa Parks and everything, we are taken to the edge of a cliff and we're just staring down at the abyss the
Yeah.
whole time, waiting for Abby to like kick us in the
Yeah.
back and push
Yeah,
us off.
Yeah, the other shit.
And to like not give Nia the role of Rosa Parks or like whatever. And it never happens. And then we all giggle and we just slowly back up from the edge of the cliff.
Nick Miller
Nick
moonwalk.
Miller moonwalk away from the edge of the cliff. Yeah.
It's just like we came so close to blackface. you know?
Yeah,
Like, we
dude,
really
when-
towed that line.
When she, yeah, when and
So
I think
close.
either Christy or Kelly brought it up
It was
earlier. They're
Christy.
like, "How are we going to
She's
do
like,
this
"It's
without
not-
being what it wasn't unsavory? It was like offensive. How are we
or
doing
like,
this without
yeah,
being
being
offensive?"
problematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dang. That's the episode, kids. Next week
What
we'll
a
get some more fuck
doozy.
shit, but it is a very exhausting episode. It's
It's an
almost
iconic
disaster.
episode.
It really is. Just like the phrase, like the Rosa Parks episode, everybody knows what that is. Everyone understands the dynamic and the
Yeah.
conflict. It's immediately there. It's great. It's great.
This is a good
JB.
episode. I see people say like what's a good episode to introduce someone to the show.
Oh
And
yeah.
a lot of people say this is a good one.
Yeah, you get a good like it's a good litmus test for all the moms' personalities.
Yeah, that
You
too.
get just like there's no major like insane swinging the purses throwing water fight.
Yeah.
No one's crying. It's just a little bit of bite all over the place.
Well, it's nice because like you still get a mention of those things having
Yes.
happened. So like a
Yeah.
new viewer would still see that and be like, "Oh, there's some
Ooh.
crazy shit that goes
Yeah.
on." So you're mentally ready for it, but you
Yeah.
don't actually get thrown into the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an astute observation.
I get lucky every once in a while.
JB, do you have a song that you would like to
I
plug?
did. I picked a song. So it was one of my top songs on my Spotify Wrapped. So
Love.
is this your first episode of 2024?
It is.
How exciting.
It is.
So yeah, my song that I chose is Ignorance by Paramore.
Slay.
Love
Slay, slay,
it.
slay. Love that. Eli, add it to the playlist.
Yes.
got
I
it.
just
Play
followed your
description.
playlist on Spotify. I found it.
This is such a good song. It's just an old Paramore song.
It is an old Paramore song. It was like this and a bunch of songs from Hair the Musical in my top 5.
I love that. Wait, from what musical?
Hair.
Oh, I love that. I love
I got
that.
by the
really
way.
into that this year.
That is the 100th song that has been added to the Pyramid Bops playlist.
Let's fucking go,
Ooh,
JB.
Yes,
That's
what an
amazing.
honor.
What you got?
Well, okay, hang
You
on.
want me to go?
Now I got it. What? It's called. Wait.
Hurry up, our call's about to time out.
What Do You Know by the Two Door Cinema Club?
Oh, I've heard of that band.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone, you should know this song for sure. Hang on.
Oh yeah.
Let it get into the higher guitar part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Makes me think of prom.
I can't hear it.
JB can't hear it.
I promise.
Can you hear it now?
You know what? I was on a call like in rehearsal the other day and the director tried to do the same thing and it didn't work.
Well, when we get
Well,
off this
that's
call,
weird.
What Do You
Yeah.
Know by Two Door Cinema
That's
Club.
crazy.
It
Good to know.
is
I'll give it a listen.
The song that I have picked is a song that's called Gorgeous by Queen Herbie.
Oh.
It is an excellent song about she has a line in there about what is it? Did I waste my time? Am I past my prime? And it's about like feeling like, uh-oh, like am I on this side of my prime? And then being like, no, let me take a step back and look at my life and like all these things that I've done and everything.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Fast forward a little bit.
What?
Yeah. It's a great song. You can't hear it, JB, but it's a great song. That's
It's funny, I can hear
crazy.
it when you talk. So I think it's like
Huh.
the mic trying to
That's
cut it out.
Interesting. Okay, stop. I wonder if there's something in the interface of Zoom where they've blocked out.
Yeah.
That's
Like
so
filters
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's weird.
JB, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
enduring our tech struggles and the ghost thumb and all that shit. We
Of
thank you for
course.
adding to the lore of our podcast with the ghost thumb, the recurring character, the ghost thumb.
Yes.
JB, do you have anything you want to plug before we sign off?
Yes, absolutely. Please
many
follow
things.
me on socials. My Instagram is Jetta Baker Morrissey. My TikTok is Tie Dye Dragon with 2
Yes.
Y's in dye. I have a
The
new
best.
YouTube video coming out very
Woo!
soon. Like I said earlier, I gotta like reshoot some stuff because of my mic problems, but it should be done soon. And it's about Abby's new TV show on Brandon TV. It's not good. Don't bother paying the $6 a month for it.
Did you say Brandon TV?
Yeah.
It is a new streaming service.
Wait,
That is $6
producer
a month.
Brandon or production assistant?
PA Brandon.
PA
No, I
Brandon?
don't think
Oh,
so. No.
brutal.
I don't know.
Um,
Brandon TV. What is that?
The guy who owns it, his name is Brandon Stewart, and he's like just like a media guy. He used to do a bunch of stuff. I do a whole deep dive into who he is in my video
Nice.
too.
Oh my god, great! I'm gonna go
So
watch
that's JB Morrissey, smiley face is my YouTube channel. Check out my Abby Lee Miller videos and check out my podcast, Feminine Features.
it.
We're on hiatus right now. We come back I think February 5th with we're doing a hairspray episode. Yes, talking about Zac Efron.
I love that movie and
Yeah.
that musical to an insane certifiable degree.
Yes.
I am gonna watch or listen to the fuck out of that episode. I love that.
Yes.
I love that
Yes,
show.
so check out Feminine
love it.
Features. We're on Spotify, all the streaming services, and then on socials, we're at Fem Features Pod on all socials. So yeah.
Love. All of our stuff is going to be linked. I'm going to link all of JB's shit in the show notes as well. The YouTube video of this Zoom call, all these Zoom calls spliced together, will be up on our YouTube channel. Leave us a review. DM us on Instagram with your thoughts. Cyberbully Eli sent him a bunch of knife and or muscle emojis. What else? I guess that's it.
I will also
send us an
accept
email.
water gun emojis.
Water gun emojis are acceptable.
Or if you want to get creative, there have been people that have sent me that weird like red clown face thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
little
yeah.
That's the most threatening one. I've got.
Intimidating.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love that emoji. I love
Yeah,
that emoji.
go nuts.
Dang, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of The Pyramid. JB, it's always a treasure, bestie.
Thank
Always a
you. I
treat.
was so happy to be back.
Love you so much. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.